in
Berkeley, California. You got it. This one's for three. AJ Hawk, $5,000.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey. Why? Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people. And welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Overreaction Monday, April 27, 2026. This program begins now. Sports are the absolute greatest, and let me tell you, after the NFL draft weekend, which was spectacular, record-breaking in Pittsburgh as 805,000 people. Now, it's not unique people. It's not 805,000 different people. Mm-hmm. It's 805,000 people attending the event. Now, the draft is not just the stage and the parking lot packed with people having a great time peacefully. Okay, which I don't think any of us could have expected.
Nope.
It's also the stadium they had a draft experience. Over at the Point, they had a thing going on. They took over, did they say 4 million square feet, Foxy?
I believe so.
4 million square feet in downtown Pittsburgh, 805,000 people, kind of attended to day-to-day events. And obviously, whenever you think about the dreams that came true throughout the draft weekend, there's so many storylines developing around so many different cities. So many different players could become the greatest of all time. So many players could become busts. Mm-hmm. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but stats tell us some of these guys are going to be ass.
Yeah.
A lot of these people we might have high hopes for, there's a waste of hopes. Then there's some people that we have no hope for that are potentially going to go on to be the greatest. Brock Purdy has proven to us that no matter where you get drafted, you can go on to be a superstar. Now, has Brock won a Super Bowl yet? Has he stamped his ticket to Hall of Fame yet? No. But is he on his way? Potentially. He was the last pick of the draft. First pick of the draft could be ass. Last pick of the draft could be ass. Mm-hmm. But all of them in between could be great. And that's why the optimism seems to be high.
Yep.
Except for in a couple cities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll go through the storylines of the draft. We'll talk about the playoffs, the NBA, and the NHL. We have TJ Oshie joining us.
Okay.
Hey, old Oshie, Stanley Cup champ. He'll be joining us in about 40 minutes or so. The NHL is hot because Sidney Crosby's still in the playoffs.
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Is that one?
Yeah,
Yes.
buddy.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah.
Hang in there, Sid.
Yeah, the Colorado Avalanche. You look right here. Everybody said they're the big bad wolf. Well,
They did it. Real quick.
Just 4-0. See ya. The other series still cooking, obviously, around. We'll talk to TJ Oshie about what other storylines other than the Pittsburgh Penguins with Sidney Crosby still being alive. I think that Buffalo-Boston one's fun because I've seen a lot of rollerblading going on.
A lot of rollerblading.
A lot of rollerblading going on up there. That's going to be spectacular. We'll talk, obviously, to Iman Shumpert about the NBA. We got Mike Repole, who I believe is Paisan and owner of the UF. Does he own the whole league?
I think so.
Yeah,
He just bought the league?
I believe so.
He owns the UFL because obviously UFL was in the middle of their season, 6 weeks in already. We knew that.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
We all
Been
knew
on the
that.
playoffs.
Yeah, we're coming down the stretch here.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah, UFL.
Rock doesn't own the NFL anymore?
I don't know.
Or
I don't
UFL,
know.
whatever?
I don't know.
I think it's a team
They're
effort.
saying in the back corners.
okay,
Repole
okay.
is 51% though. Then now, if that's
So
the
he's
case.
a guy then.
Feels like he was the one out promoting it. He was holding the football on
Right.
Get Up. Remember?
do
He was holding the football. He very successful. Vitamin Water, I believe he was a part of.
Yep.
The Noble brand, Tom Brady's
Body
brand.
Armor.
Body Armor, I believe he was a part of. So, and I think he's horse racing.
Yeah,
extraordinaire.
Repole Stables.
Repole Stables. He's a
good stable.
This guy's successful in a lot of things. Bought a league. Okay, now he runs a spring football league. He now is not only in the middle of cooking something up, but trying to figure out what the future could look like for the UFL. And I've often been a hater of this particular league. I've actually refused to call it by its actual name numerous times because I thought XFL was much cooler.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever they combined and they get the X out, I'm a little confused there.
Mm-hmm.
Them going to UFL, I appreciate it. I respect it. Spring football, always going to be something for us to watch until we don't. Usually we don't because the quality of it's pretty shite. This year, feels like the boys are thumping.
Yeah, they are.
This year feels like the boys are thumping. There's been some highlights. There's been some points being scored. There's been some good shit going. But I just thought to myself after the draft weekend came and went that there's one particular player that is having a tryout with the Ravens this upcoming weekend. If he was to go to the UFL,
Huge for them.
is Diego Pavia not the UFL blueprint that you would think for spring football? Big name, not scared to promote things at all. He can move, so he won't die back there. And if you look at some of the quarterbacks in the UFL, I don't know who any of them.
No.
I don't know who any of them
The biggest
are.
thing, too.
Especially right now, because how many quarterbacks are on the roster? You know, going in training camp, there's certain 100 and whatever, okay? There's like 6 quarterbacks, 6 quarterbacks. Those guys, if they're on contracts with the NFL, they can't play in the UFL. So you do 32 teams, time 500, and you got 170th ranked quarterback potentially in the UFL.
Yep.
Or you got an older quarterback that's coming out of kind of his entire career. Or you potentially get a guy that hasn't been drafted, that still is free, has a name, can potentially get a few weeks out of him, and he can still get into the NFL, maybe with how he does in the UFL. This feels like kind of a home run situation. Going to pitch it to Repole.
Well said.
And then he's going to tell us why or that can't happen. And also, Diego, we're not saying you won't have a good NFL career. Okay, we think you're a dog. Maybe you'll be able to figure it out up there. We think your style of play, your size, everything basically about you is probably why you weren't the most desirable prospect. But you're a dog. We think you'll do well. If you hit it off with Baltimore, we'll be very happy for you. But it feels like the UFL should be giving him
Yeah.
Something.
That feels like a That feels like a match made in heaven.
It does.
800,000 viewers they're averaging.
That's not bad.
Good number.
Spring ball, that's not bad at all. You get a Diego Pavia in there, you kind of run up the number a little bit. You get some other name brands out there, maybe you run it up a little bit. With NIL, with guys playing longer, maybe getting more of a name, maybe not being such great NFL prospects, maybe this can continue. Hopefully the UFL lives because we love ball.
Yep.
Right? That's for everybody who tweets me after we make fun of the UFL. You don't like football. It's like, I like good football.
We do yeah.
Will you guys do that, or are you going to hold out whenever you lose $50 million? I think that's kind of the tough thing, but we would like it to go good. So we are having Repole on. We'll also have Shams on here in about an hour and Schefter in about 4 minutes. It's not just me, obviously, on this stage. There's a great group of lads. The Toxic Tables here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. They focusing on football up there in New England, or are we pivoting away from that completely as the Celtics continue to do their thing in the playoffs?
Yeah, look, the focus is always on football, but right now, exactly, we're after Larry O'Brien. You know, these things don't just grow on trees, all right? It takes a lot of effort to go and get one of these things. And this is actually a real Larry O'Brien trophy. I don't know if you know. That's not plastic. That is pure gold.
The top was kind of rolling there.
Well, that's because... don't break it, man. That's because I was so juiced up for it. I, tried to yank off the basketball and kind of bring it home with me just for good juju. Turns out you don't need that against the Sixers because they just didn't get basketball.
Yeah, the Sixers certainly did not have their best night last night. The Celtics continue to do their thing. That game got to 30 at the end in trash time. I mean, they had fifth stringers playing at one point, and the Celtics fifth stringers, and maybe it's because Lethal Shooter came over, they didn't miss either. Feels like the Celtics don't really miss, and they play great defense. The fact that Tatum has recovered in the way that he has from his Achilles gives a lot of hope. Okay, Daniel Jones, a lot of hope.
Yes.
Tyrese Halliburton, if he can ever shake these shingles.
Jeez Louise,
Hey,
man.
listen, that's seemingly a real
problem.
But he didn't. What do you mean? If he could?
That's 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler.
Yeah, you were hanging out with him.
Yeah, a lot of daps, a lot of vibes. What do you mean?
I don't know. I think, have you had chicken pox?
Yes.
Oh, go see your doctor.
No,
I'm good, right?
That's not what it is. I think we're good if we had it.
Okay, yeah.
I think if you've had chicken pox, which I have had as a child.
See, I thought if you've had chicken pox, then you have that gene, and then it just lays dormant.
See, what we're saying right now is you guys should do your own research. You guys should do your own research on this. But yeah, I think if you've had it, I think it's like.
I better hope.
Like mono. You have it once, and then you're just done with it.
I don't know.
I've never had mono.
Me neither.
That's bad.
No. I would never like to have mono.
As long as you're not making out with everybody, you're good.
But I remember chicken
You guys know
pox
any
being.
black guys that had mono? Actually, now that I think about it, I don't know too many black guys.
I remember.
That's a good question.
I'm assuming
Fatter
Cosby.
teammate of mine was trying to get mono because he wanted to lose weight. He was a white guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Who's the quarterback? Is that Sam?
Yeah, Sam Darnold got mine.
Yeah.
Darnold had
That was a
mono.
long start to the season.
Yes, it was.
That was really tough.
He's bounced back.
Anyways, Tyrese Halliburton, though, feels like his Achilles, same doctor as Tatum, obviously same recovery process until shingles happens, thinks he'll be good. But for the future of Achilles injuries, I think with what Tatum's doing right now is obviously good sign going forward with where our science and technology is currently at. Celtics appear to be an absolute problem, though. There's a lot of drama all around the NBA. We'll certainly chat about that. Let's go to one half of the Hammer. Dahn. Cowboys AP Tone. Big story coming out of the draft for me is that the number 2 overall pick, the odds makers had no idea what it was going to be. That, for me, says that the New York Jets don't have any leaks. Okay, because if there was any leak anywhere to anybody about anything they were going to do with the number 2 overall pick, the sportsbook certainly would have found. DraftKings would have certainly found out about what they were thinking about doing and whenever they were kind of making their odds for who's going to go number 2 overall. Nothing got out. That impressed me about the Jets. And then they continued to impress me with everything that they did. And I said, wait a minute. Is this not the same old stinky Jets here?
I don't know.
Is this a brand new jet engine plane happening over there? No loose lips.
No
sunk ships. Everything seemed to be smart. Everything had a vision. It appeared. The Jets made me a believer here after the draft. You know who else? Indianapolis Colts. And maybe it's because I was making the draft picks for them on Friday. What an honor. Thank you for that. CJ and Halsey, can't wait to watch you guys absolutely dominate in Indianapolis. You're going to enjoy your time here. And from my understanding, you two are absolute dogs. Then we add in Bryce Betcher as well, and amongst a few others. Oh, yeah, and Sauce Gardner is our first round draft pick. So I feel good about the Colts. I oddly feel good about the Jets in there. There's some other teams that people are feeling really good about coming out of the draft. Feels like there's a lot of happiness. What do you say, Tom?
Yeah, I agree. The Colts had a great one. They also got Deion Burks with their last pick, who's a great wide receiver out of Oklahoma. You talked about the Jets. They got 4 dogs with their first 4 picks in that one. I liked the Cleveland Browns.
Whoa! Tony! Here we go. Brownies! Here we go. Brownies going to the Super Bowl. Here we go. Is that what you're saying? I like that.
Monkin power.
Hold on.
Get the job done.
Here we go.
I do like the
Look
cut of
at their
Monken's
coach, Todd Monken.
Here we go.
He dresses bad, but he seems he can draft. So when they play the Steelers, they're gonna kick their ass.
No.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Is that what you were just saying right there?
I do like the cut of Monken's jib. Okay, the neighbors were complaining about how loud their practice was. He said, crank up that noise.
That's what I'm saying. Here we go. This is what you're saying right now.
I mean, the Steelers got 4 All-Pro, potentially Hall of Famers in their draft, so we're good there. Okay, but no, the Browns, they traded back. They got Fano with their first pick. We came into the draft knowing that they need an offensive tackle and wide receiver help. So they got the tackle with their first pick after trading back. Then they get Casey Concepcion later in the draft, so they got the wide receiver crossed off. Oh, wait, Denzel Boston, who was supposed to be a first-round wide receiver, he falls the second round. They also get him at their third pick, so they're good there. And then the safety, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, who was also at some points a potential first-round pick as well. They got him, and then Taylon Green at pick, 182 there, the insanely athletic quarterback who they said they are going to try out at quarterback. They got him there too. And then you pair that with last year, they got Mason Graham early. And then they got Carson Schweschinger, who won Defensive Player of the Year. What the Browns have, and 2 running back starters last year.
Shadur.
Yeah. What the Browns have done the last 2 years at the draft. Obviously, we haven't seen these guys yet, but I do like what the Browns did.
Okay, I like hearing that, and that's what the draft does right there.
Yeah,
we're on bias here.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to be. You have to celebrate it all.
Yeah.
And there's obviously other teams that we are impressed with, and we would like to dive into all of them, but we should hear from the man who has heard from all the different teams post the draft. Ladies and gentlemen, senior NFL insider from ESPN, Michigan man, Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Shefty.
Shefty, how you doing
Gentlemen,
post-draft?
what's going on?
Oh, I like that. I like the word. Fire it up.
Shake it, baby.
I like the juice that we got going on. You obviously just looked at your phone. I don't know if you're in the middle of something or breaking news or just got done breaking news, but we appreciate you doing that. What is the big story coming out of the draft for you? Obviously, we saw the lemon conversation with Omar Khan of the Pittsburgh Steelers, which then the Philadelphia Eagles trade up, and it's like, okay, the Steelers almost went with wide receiver, it feels like, in the first round. Instead, they go with offensive line. Was there any other stories like that maybe you have heard since the draft, or what do you think is the big thing coming out?
Well, I'll say this first of all, before we go into the draft winners and losers. I think you're the big winner here, Pat. You had a great weekend last weekend in your city. The film on Wednesday night was outstanding. The party you put together, the film was great. NFL Films, everybody will get a chance to watch that, but it's an ode to Pittsburgh and what it means to people to live there, work there, play there, and what football means to that city. It was awesome, and you did a great job that night. I will say this. My wife does a great job throwing parties, and when I go to an event like that, you remind me of her in many ways because nothing gets lost in the details. Everything is above and beyond. And you and my wife share a lot of similarities. If you two ever threw a party together, it would be very, very pricey, but very, very classy. So
okay. All right. Well, shout out to your wife, and shout out to you for coming through. I genuinely appreciate that. I know you're probably incredibly busy on the night before the draft, especially with potential news what could come the next day. Everybody that came through, ESPN folks that came through for the ESPN kind of NFL crew, the game day crew came through, NFL Network people came through, the suits that came through, everybody. I was very, very grateful that everybody spent their time kind of coming by. But I think it set the stage, hopefully, for a good draft week, and then Pittsburgh would go on to show up at a rate that the NFL draft hadn't seen before. I'm just very grateful you came. Coach Cowher was unbelievable throughout the entirety of it, and thank you for the kind words, man. Yeah, it was a blast. Miss Stacy at the Carnegie Science Center, absolute weapon too. Executed the entire. She is a beast. But yes, it was fun to put together. I was thankful people came, and it seemed like it all worked.
Yes,
which is
awesome.
Big time.
Boy, I was pretty pumped when it was done.
Also, the city of Pittsburgh did a great job. You see the support that it showed. Everyone was so nice and generous, and everybody was so happy to have people in their city. And I mean, it was a really classy way that the Pittsburgh people acted, the way the city behaved, and it was a success all around for a draft that a lot of people, I think, did not view as one of the great drafts that we've seen in recent memory. And I think going into this draft, there were people that felt this was a down draft. Next year is supposed to be an up draft, but the city of Pittsburgh embraced it. You talked about surprises, moments that we remember. I think that Mekhi Lemon pick was one. The Rams not being able to trade back with Ty Simpson. A lot of people, the Rams ideally would have liked to have moved back from 13 so they could get more picks and still take Ty Simpson. But when their turn on the clock came, they didn't get any calls. There was nobody that was willing to trade up to 13 at that point in time. And so they were forced to sit there, stick there, and make a pick there. And believe me, they were very happy to get Ty Simpson. The thinking initially was that they would pick him at 29, but they wound up trading that pick for Trent McDuffie. And then they went ahead and used that pick on Ty Simpson, a quarterback that they had a high grade on. And by the way, like, everybody's gone back and forth on this, the right pick, the wrong pick. I think when you draft a quarterback for the future, it's a little bit like insurance. You know, you don't think you need it until you have to need it, and you have to call on it. And at some point in time, Matthew Stafford will leave the game, and they're going to probably be real happy at that point in time that they have the quarterback insurance that they bought at the 2026 NFL draft to start getting Ty Simpson ready for the next challenge post-Matthew Stafford career. And by the way, like, okay, they debated taking Mekhi Lemon. They debated taking Manga Ioane, the Penn State guard, at that spot. They debated other players. But it wasn't like this draft was filled with blue chippers that they felt like they were passing on a player that they had to have. They felt like it was more important to build for their future. It's exactly what they did. And by the way, it's also why I don't have a big problem with the Cardinals taking Jeremiah Love at 3 when they already had in that running back room Tyler Algier and James Conner and Trey Benson, because this was not a draft that was loaded in the eyes of scouts with blue chip talent.
Yeah, Carson Beck ends up being the quarterback that the Cardinals end up drafting. They're in a situation with Jacoby, I guess. You know, they'll figure that whole thing out. Ty Simpson to the Rams. You know, Sean McVay, his initial reactions, we obviously all judged pretty mightily. You know, like, there were some screenshots of him being upset. Then the phone call is amazing because Ty's like, hey, let's go make history, coach. He goes, yeah, okay, enjoy tonight, man. Let's move along. And he came out and even said, like, in that moment, there's a lot happening there. I have to juggle Matthew Stafford. I want him to know that this is his team. I want Matthew Stafford to know that this is on his timeline. Like, we are not telling him that this is an ending for him at some point last year or 2 years. Whenever he wants to be done, he can be done, is kind of what Sean McVay came out afterwards, sitting right next to Les Snead, saying we are together in this entire thing, and talked about that, because we just saw the Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers situation happen in Green Bay, where they were close to winning a Super Bowl. Sorry, I'm getting choked up thinking about it. Just the end of that run over there in Green Bay. They were close to a Super Bowl, though. They gave up 180 yards before contact on the ground to the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC Championship, the Green Bay Packers did. Then you go into the draft, you don't have a 1, you trade into 1, and you decide to get a quarterback that's going to play 2 years from now or 3 years from now and end up in, where the team, and Aaron, I think, immediately thought, hey, we get a piece. Maybe we win the fucking Super. Are we trying to win the Super Bowl in here? So that's the only counter argument to it all. But I appreciate the fact that Coach McVay was immediately like, Stafford needs to know that this is how this is, because I don't think that was necessarily how it was in Green Bay. I don't think.
Well, let me say this: like, every situation is handled differently, and the Rams had the 2 1s. So if you just flipped it for a moment and said they traded pick 13 for Trent McDuffie and they drafted Ty Simpson at 29, would you be good with that? Probably feel better. That's how they did it. And there's also a way to handle all these situations through time where a team takes a quarterback when they have a quarterback. I remember being in Denver back in, I think it was 1991 or 2, when the Denver Broncos used their first-round draft pick on UCLA quarterback Tommy Maddox. And John Elway was at the baggage claim at the Palm Springs airport when he had found out. And a couple of weeks before the draft, he had talked about how he wanted the Broncos to pick Carl Pickens, the wide receiver from Tennessee, in the first round. And at that point in time, the Broncos, I think, didn't necessarily love that John was speaking out. They picked Tommy Maddox. He found out about it later. And we go back to Atlanta when they took Michael Penix. They called Kirk Cousins while they're on the clock. In this particular case, not that it makes the situation better for the quarterback, but the Rams that afternoon called both Matthew Stafford and Stetson Bennett, both their quarterbacks, to let them know, hey, just want to give you a heads up. we are planning and intending to take Ty Simpson tonight. That was in the afternoon. So they were given a heads up in advance. They handled it the right way. There's no simple way of doing it, but the Rams handled it about as well as you could.
Okay, you're getting some vibration sensations coming through the speaker. Are you getting updates right now from the Rams telling you, hey, remember?
Say this.
Remember, we caught him during the day.
Even Stetson.
Oh, Jimmy, Joe?
Well, nothing right now. A few texts, but nothing.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, let's move away from the draft and talk about some of the other storylines around the draft. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Schefter, obviously this offseason, the Cowboys franchise tag George Pickens, and then there's reports that he doesn't obviously want to play on the franchise tag, but the Cowboys are not going to give him a long-term deal. And then draft night, right before the draft starts, he signs his franchise tag. We're trying to connect dots to see if that means that they're going to be able to trade him during the draft. That obviously does not happen. What's the latest on the Cowboys and the George Pickens situation?
Look, he wants a long-term contract, or he would like a trade. They have been very clear that they're not going to give him a long-term contract. So now that leaves them in a position, both sides, I think that's a little bit unsettled at this current moment. George Pickens signed the tender, so he is now contractually obligated to be there for mini camps, for training camp. He has to be there. Now, we'll see how that works out. He wants to be traded. I think you don't just sign that tender willy-nilly like, oh, I feel like signing the tender today. Like on the day there had to be some sort of motive that he had. Now, I do believe that there were people that were trying to get him traded during the draft, looking into other teams. Would you have any interest? Teams got calls about that, but nothing materialized. I don't think it's entirely off the table that at some point in time he could be traded, even though the Cowboys have been adamant that they have no plans to trade him. At some point in time, if there's a team that's willing to give them a decent enough haul in return, I would think it might be in everybody's best interest at that time.
Schefter, I don't know. I genuinely don't know how many buildings like kind of watch our program. It feels like a lot of them do. We'll just keep running these highlights of this guy. Have you seen? I think there's going to be some people that get pretty interested. While you're obviously talking about the entire situation, about there being a motive and some people peeking around, I mean, after the draft would be a good time to revisit those conversations. I mean, that's blank. Or that's Coop.
Yeah,
that's Coop. Yeah, sorry about that, boys. I don't think you all look the same.
Sorry.
Okay, I do apologize for the confusion there between Blank and Coop or whatever the case is. But these highlights are outrageous. He played his best ball by far last year with the Dallas Cowboys. They're saying he's going to play under the franchise tag. He's got Mulligetta as an agent. It feels like somebody's going to be paying George Pickens a lot of money to do that right there. And who will be? Maybe a team that missed out on a wide receiver that they wanted in the draft.
And by the way, there could be at some point in time, we get to camp, somebody loses a receiver due to injury. Whenever that happens, the thinking is going to shift to George Pickens if he hasn't been traded by that point in time. It's just going to kind of float out there all along. I'll say this. The Dallas Cowboys also said last year, I believe, that they weren't trading Micah Parsons, and they wound up trading him. And George Pickens would be more tradable than Micah Parsons. So even though Dallas says it's not trading him, I still believe that a trade will be alive. It will follow that team and him throughout the summer. And forgive me for being ignorant and naive, but there had to be a reason why he signed that franchise tender.
How many years you been covering the NFL?
36.
Very ignorant and naive man, I'd say.
More tradable than Michael Parsons.
Yeah, it's crazy. Is that because of contract expectation or why?
With what?
With him being more tradable, you said more tradable than Michael Parsons?
No. What I'm saying is the Cowboys said that they weren't trading Michael Parsons. In this particular case, they're not married long-term to George Pickens. They've already said they're not extending him. They wanted to keep Micah Parsons long-term. The Dallas Cowboys have basically advertised that as much as we like George Pickens, we're not signing him to a long-term deal. So there's no long-term commitment. So if there's no long-term commitment, they would be more apt, in my mind, to trade George Pickens than they were Micah Parsons at this time last year. We know how that went last year. Now, they're saying that they don't intend to trade George Pickens. That's their plan. But my point is, if they traded Parsons, then I think Pickens is even more tradable than Parsons was a year ago.
Okay, so you're saying with what they have deemed what they were going to do with each guy. The Micah thing's interesting because that felt like a real turn quick.
Yeah.
That got nasty quick, it felt like. And the Packers were like, yeah, we'd love to have him.
Yeah.
And then whenever he was playing, they were great. And then when he wasn't playing, the Packers were ass.
Yes.
So that was a good trade no matter what they gave up for that particular situation. George Pickens, he'd go to a team immediately and become their one. I mean, just wherever he heads to.
Yeah, he kind of became the Cowboys one in there with CeeDee Lamb because when he was at the Steelers, he was almost like a one-trick pony with the deep ball, but then he got to the Cowboys and got with Dak, and he showed that he could run the entire route tree in the slot. But speaking of wide receivers and being tradable, going back to the NFC West with the San Francisco 49ers, I know John Lynch has been speaking more on Brandon Aiyuk. Yeah. There's been rumors about the Commanders having interest. What are we hearing on the latest on the Brandon Aiyuk front?
Well, we know he's not going to be back in San Francisco. We know that the team is ready to move on from him. And they've advertised, including this weekend at every turn, that they would trade him for whatever they could get back for him. And I think the reason that a team's not trading for him right now is they don't want to assume the current contract that he has. And so it's a situation where he hasn't been in clear, constant communication with the Niners. They've had a hard time getting a hold of him. Other teams, I think, have attempted to reach out. They've had a hard time getting a hold of him. So it's a situation where the 49ers feel like, yeah, Brandon Aiyuk, I'm sure, would love to be released so he can go rejoin his college teammate Jaden Daniels in Washington. That's a prevailing thought out there. But the Niners are like, you know what? We don't really care. We've got some time between now and camp opening, and we're not just going to give him away unless we feel like we can get something back for him. The issue is that teams don't want to trade for that contract, and they don't want to trade for that contract when they can't even discuss it with Brandon Aiyuk.
Hold on, Schefter, though. Didn't they void his guarantees because of breach of contract?
Correct.
So wouldn't that be the new? So does the team inherit the breached contract, or does the team inherit full contract and they have to decide whether or not he breached their contract?
I'd have to. Okay, let me just call up his contract right now.
Oh, I got him. Hey.
That's a good question.
Yeah, because if
No. What I'm saying is, no, you didn't get me. What I'm saying is, so I just want to see the contract here, right? So, right now, he is okay. So he's supposed to make this year in November 25. They voided $27 million in guaranteed money for this season. So whatever he's due to make this year, that's what I'm trying to see. That money is not guaranteed anymore. Okay, so what's his base salary supposed to be this year? I can't see that. It's too little for me.
$27 million. $27 million, I believe. Cap.
Well, that's the cap. Base looks like it's $11 million.
1.2.
Oh, well, I guess that the team would have to take on.
In 27, it's 27.2, and then 28, it is 29.1.
Come on, Lynch.
Right.
Text Shefty.
Yeah, just text him. Text John Lynch and say, hey, what's going on? Because if he breaches,
the point is, I think that Aiyuk is supposed to make so much money this year that another team would not want to pay him that, and so you can't trade for the player without taking on the contract, even without the guaranteed money. And there isn't a team out there right now that wants to pay him the money that is due to him. It may not be guaranteed, but it's still due to him this year. And so a team that trades for him, and there's been none so far that has been willing to do that, would want to rework the contract. And again, they've had a hard time reaching the player. Just kind of floating around out there right now.
All right. Well, Aiyuk, we hope it all works out, dude.
Yep.
Figure it out.
However you want it to work out, we hope it all works out. You're really good at football, Mr. Aiyuk. You are really, really good at football. That's why this conversation's even happening. Just remember that. We love watching you play.
Oh, yeah.
Love watching Aiyuk.
Get your shit together, brother.
Yeah, come on. There's a lot out there right now. Now, granted, whatever you want to do. Yeah,
can't be more 27 million.
Yeah,
cannot leave that on the table.
I'm thinking about guys in the past that have just walked away and then gone on like their own like journeys or whatever. Like whatever. Hey, good luck out there, man. It's a lot of money just to be leaving out there. A lot of money just be leaving. Schefter, you get an answer from somebody right there? John Lynch goes, actually, with the amount of money that people would take. Did you get any answers?
No 49er sticks.
Play name that team. Was it Colts? Maybe the Colts are trading for George Pickens.
Rams, perhaps.
Oh, maybe it's the Rams saying good job on the Ty Simpson cleanup there.
Yeah.
Is that what the Rams said there?
You know, I do want to go back to when George Pickens was traded. It wasn't exactly a robust trade market. I think David Mulligetta helped find that one team in Dallas, and there was a great trade for both sides, for Dallas and for Pittsburgh at this point in time. Now you got to find another team. The talent is incredible. Like, he's as good as anybody. And the Steelers always said that. Like, that has not been the question with George Pickens. It's the other stuff that, again, he's got to show them a certain maturity. And I thought he played very well this year, and he showed he's worthy of that stuff. But, again, there's got to be a team that's willing to step up to pay him, and we'll see whether that comes together.
That's a great text. As we're getting phone calls, too, from the Schefter Hot Corner over there post-draft. The George Pickens signing of the franchise tag kind of sent out a red flag to everybody that something might be up on him moving into his next stage of his career. Was with the Steelers, had an incredible year with the Cowboys. We assume he won't play under the franchise tag, but maybe it is. Just plays under the franchise tag, continues to...
He has to now. Because he signed it. That's the whole issue. He signed it. He has to play. If he's not there in week 1, he gets fined. Like, no, he's contractually obligated to be there now.
Yeah, okay. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, we just talking about Aiyuk, left 27.
Yeah, we understand what you're saying out there.
No, Aiyuk just stopped going to meetings, stopped being around. Like, they couldn't get a hold of him.
Yeah.
And whatever it was, there were enough actions and behaviors that the team was documenting all along that it felt like it had grounds to void his guarantees. Like, to void the guarantees, you have to take some serious steps to have that done.
Yeah, well, that's what we're saying, though. We hope it doesn't end up like that with George in Dallas. We hope but whatever happens, we just hope George ends up with all the money and he falls in love with the place that he ends up at. Ty has a question for you, Shefty.
Yeah, Shefty, it gained quite a bit of steam this weekend right after the Giants selected Arvell Reese. There was a lot of, Kayvon Thibodeaux, I know they just drafted him in, the top 5 not too long ago, but his name kind of popped up on the trade market. Is there anything there with him? Because that was really hot. Maybe he's going to get traded during the draft, and then it kind of cooled down completely on Sunday, and it seemed like they're going to, find a spot for him, and he might be a Giant after all.
They never came close to trading him during the draft. They had a conversation with the Saints about a month ago. The talks never really went anywhere, and we were told, I think we put up an alert during the draft, even after the Giants took Arvell Reese, that the Giants had no intention of trading Kayvon Thibodeaux at that point in time. Now, again, could something happen later this summer? Something always could happen. Just go back to Micah Parsons last year. But I can tell you that as of today, the Giants do not plan to nor intend to trade Kayvon Thibodeaux. The plan is to hold on to him. The plan is to keep him. There was a conversation with New Orleans over a month ago prior to the draft. The Saints over the weekend dealt for another pass rusher, Tyree Wilson, the former high first-round draft pick from the Las Vegas Raiders. That was the direction the Saints went, and the Giants are planning to have Thibodeaux be a part of their defense this season.
John Harbaugh's handling everything like a master class. It does feel like the Giants are the hot team to believe in right now. Hey, why not believe in the Giants? Mm-hmm. Why not believe in the Giants? Do we believe in Jackson Dart 100%, Bruce Braun?
Oh, 1,000% believe in Jackson Dart.
All right, I like it.
Hell yeah.
Is he going to submarine his head into his golf? Is he going to do that?
No.
I like it that I want to let you know, I like that he's willing to do that.
It was an overblown narrative the whole time. He missed one game. He had one concussion that the Unk missed. The Unk was picking on him all season long. Never got him once on a concussion.
Baseball was in the tent.
He's going to be fine. He's going to be more than fine.
I can't wait. I hope so. I love the way he plays, man. I love the amount of money. In New York, too. Scadaboo's back or no?
Yeah, Scadaboo's going to be good to go. Neighbors, it seems like, is a little bit slower in the recovery. But yeah, I don't know who the hell is playing D tackle, but everything else seems like we got sorted.
Yeah, you guys got rid of Dexy. Just couldn't wait to get him out of the building, huh? Just couldn't wait to send him to Cincinnati. And then you look at Cincinnati, he's like, I kind of like what Cincinnati's doing over there. A lot of teams very optimistic. Philadelphia fans never optimistic, but massive move was made. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Shefty, Jonathan Grenard gets traded during day 2, I believe. They got a third round back for him and a third round for next year. How did this develop? Were there any other teams kind of in it on Grenard, or was it always just going to be the Eagles once they lost Adrian Phillips to the Carolina Panthers?
The interesting part of this trade is it had been in the works for weeks, and there was a point in mid-March in that first week of free agency where these two teams were heavily discussing a potential trade for Jonathan Grenard, and they couldn't agree on the value at that point in time. And I believe at that point in time that the Eagles were offering a third-round pick this year. The Vikings wanted a second-round pick this year, and the talks stalled entirely. Now, they were always sitting out there, and it was always possible that they were going to be revisited, and that's exactly what happened on Thursday, shortly after the draft began. I'm not sure if it was that morning or that night, but the two sides obviously connected again and agreed to the trade that involved the number 98 overall selection in this past draft and the third-round pick next year. The Vikings get back 2 picks for a player that they weren't going to pay. And the Eagles had a deal done and ready to go with Jonathan Grenard, a 4-year, $100 million extension. They add another pass rusher. They have been looking to add another pass rusher. And so for the Eagles' sake, they got somebody. Oddly enough, it was the compensatory pick that they traded this year, which you can trade compensatory picks now. That was the pick they got for losing Milton Williams to the Patriots. So they lose Milton Williams and essentially get back Jonathan Grenard, who is a weapon there in Minnesota.
And Minnesota trades their captain. I mean, that's just a crazy. That is obviously a wild move from Minnesota. I'm assuming they have a plan. For the Philadelphia Eagles now, this is setting up for a conversation about A.J. Brown. Obviously, you pick up this big of a contract, you have to expect some money somewhere to be elsewhere. A.J. Brown he's still on the move to the Patriots. And who's making the decisions for the Patriots? I'm hearing we're heading out of town to council, and then we're not in town, but we are in town. We're doing this. What is happening with the Patriots in decision making? And are we still just assuming A.J. Brown is going to the Patriots?
Well, when Mike Repole leaves over the weekend on Saturday when they're making those picks, and I think they went into that day with 8 picks, Elliott Wolf, the general manager, Ryan Cowden, who knows Repole very well, they're more than capable of carrying that organization forward without him at that point in time. And now, again, going forward, at some point in time, look, they all understand that they want A.J. Brown, and the Patriots and the Eagles are willing to move on from A.J. Brown. And again, I expect that this trade will come together on June 1st. Neither side is committed to it, but both, I believe, are expected to make it happen to where A.J. Brown will wind up being traded to New England in June. They'll revisit. It's not going to be hard to get done. The Eagles are open to moving him. The Patriots want him. And I believe in the end, it will involve a future first-round draft pick. My guess is 2028, one in 2028. But let's see how the two sides, what they finally figure out there in the end, and what ultimately decide on is compensation.
I'll let you know, for the first round this past weekend, I just looked at a picture of Sauce Gardner. Okay? Right. In 2028, take it.
Give him a second, too.
That's why the NBA is so awesome. In 2037, you will have our second round and our first round pick. Okay, deal. Let's do that. Who knows who's going to be the GM then? Maybe 2-3 GMs. Let them deal with that down the road. They can find a pick whenever they got it. A.J. Brown's certainly a game changer, game wrecker. Oh, yeah. Are you guys ever going to focus on ball up there, though?
Yes, we are.
Are you guys ever going to focus on ball?
That's all we focus on, all right?
No,
the team is focused on ball.
It is not what you focus on.
Look, some people need to get their ducks in a row, okay? And that's currently happening right now. This ain't September. This ain't July. This ain't August, all right? This is April. We're focused on the Boston Celtics and the Boston Bruins.
How come you guys haven't talked about it? You don't listen to the show. It's obvious. But on that note, it's crazy what's going on.
It is. T's and P's, the families involved that are affected. Yes.
Legit. 8 picks though, one day, can't beat her. It's crazy news.
That's nuts.
That's crazy talk. That's crazy. Supreme Commander. You say he's the guy.
Look, he is. And Elliott Wolf said it. Look, we picked a lot of guys. Mike Repole said, I love these guys. So, we took a 6'7" tackle who's 380 pounds from Texas A&M. I wonder if Repole likes that guy. He does.
Jaden Reed signed an extension with the Packers. Congrats to him. A lot of news coming out of the entire NFL draft weekend. Do we see more stuff happen after the draft because everybody's kind of settled in on where they're supposed to be? Like, how do you kind of judge the action from here until, let's say, I don't know, training camp?
There's still a lot of wide receivers out there. Odell Beckham Jr. and the Giants. It sounds like they'll get something done here at some point in time here. That Odell, there's a real chance he'll be back with the Giants. You've got Stephon Diggs is still out there right now. Juwan Jennings is still out there right now. DeAndre Hopkins is still out there. A lot of wide receivers.
Get us Juwan Jennings.
Yeah, dog.
He is a dog.
That would be perfect.
Yeah, especially the loss of Pittman.
Why is he still out there?
I don't know. That is, you want him on your team. You hate him on other teams. You would like him on. He's kind of like Hockey Goon.
Yep.
Of a wide receiver group. You would like him on your team. You would like him not to be on the team that you're playing against. He's a dog. How's he? I didn't know he's still out there. Welcome to the coach, Juwan. I'll make a draft.
There you go.
I think that's what
Pack your bags.
goes. All right, Shefty. We appreciate you, brother. Anything that we missed here that you have to that we should have talked about?
How about Diego Pavia going into the Ravens minicamp this weekend on a tryout basis? That's kind of cool, isn't it? That he gets an opportunity there.
Why are you talking like that? Why this guy was a Heisman finalist? Why you say good for the kid there? Why'd you say that?
I'm sure that he's disappointed that he didn't get drafted, of course. But that, to me, that's a good opportunity in Baltimore this week. And the Ravens currently have 2 quarterbacks on their roster: Lamar Jackson, Tyler Huntley. They don't have a third. It's been a strong organization for a long time. To me, that's a good opportunity. It's not what he wanted, but I always feel like it's more important about where you go, not where you go in the draft. And if he can go in there and impress them and get signed to the roster, I like that opportunity for Diego Pavia.
Hell yeah, we do too.
Well said.
We do too. What he did to Vandy so quickly was outrageous, and he had to fight and scrap his way up. So going through the mini camp, having a tryout to earn his spot, feels like it's pretty synonymous with his story as a whole. If it doesn't work out with the Ravens, I think he should go finish the UFL season for 4 weeks here.
Win a title.
Win a title at the UFL, and then he can get into the NFL still. So, I think there's a great opportunity here for Diego Pavia to potentially get a little ownership of something right now.
Let me say this, Pat, that the Ravens mini camp is this weekend, but there are other teams that have mini camps the next weekend, and there are other teams that want to bring him in if the Ravens don't sign him. So there's already a couple there that want to bring him in also. So he's got a couple of invitations, and we'll see where he winds up on a roster.
All right, we're happy for him if he makes
They brought
the team.
Joe in there, though, UConn's quarterback.
What's that?
Yeah,
Joey Fanano?
Yep, Joe got an invite as well, so.
To where? The
Good
Baltimore?
luck beating him out, yeah.
He's good.
What's his name?
Joe.
Joe what?
Just Joe?
Yeah, no
Fanano.
last name.
Joe Fanano.
There you go.
Joe Fanano.
Paisan, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a safe guess.
I'd say. All right, Shefty, good luck to Diego Pavia. We're obviously pulling for him. We're going to try and negotiate a pretty good deal for him here with Repole when he joins us in the second hour to see what he would be willing to give up for Pavia to maybe play a couple weeks. Maybe it's just an appearance fee or 2 on a field with a helmet. We'll see. He could play in a Todd Haley offense.
Ooh.
He could play in a Todd Haley offense, I think. They're on their 3rd quarterback.
Sure.
And I don't know. I never heard any of them.
No.
Western Florida's quarterback was out there killing it.
Yeah.
Guy could spin it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Diego could figure it out for a few weeks.
Easy.
Might put
I agree.
that league on his back until he makes the NFL. But just make the NFL instead. You can go get it,
yeah.
Diego. Just like you, Schefter. 36 years in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm 38 years old. That's Adam Schefter. Thank you so much.
Baby
Schefter.
Shefty.
He always has all the answers.
Always.
So didn't they void his contract? So what do you mean future teams are worried about the guaranteed money? Because I think the guaranteed money was actually voided because they said he breached whenever he just stopped showing up. Well, let me look here. Because he did just keep saying the contract.
Yeah.
If one team voids a contract, is the contract voided elsewhere?
So they only voided the guaranteed money for 2026. When I looked it up, he still is owed like $28 million in 2027, $29 million in 2028. So do they still have to pay $27 million or $29 million those next 2 years because they only voided the guaranteed money for 2026?
Okay, and couldn't they technically void the future ones because it's the same contract, I wonder?
Yeah, there's an out. There's an out after that, after next year on that little spot right there in the middle. After this upcoming season, there is a potential out in it.
Who knows?
3 years, $74 million, $21.2 million dead cap. Yeah, who knows?
We need spell
Which
check.
is nothing.
Spell
now.
check, clean this up for us.
Spell track, yeah, please speak English on here for us. We'd like to see if Aiyuk is on the move or not. Juwan Jennings,
Yeah.
I like that.
I don't know how he hasn't gotten signed.
I would assume he just has a number and just waiting for the opportunity.
This week,
but
right after the draft,
you would assume so. That
number
either comes down, or somebody didn't get the receiver they wanted in the draft, or didn't address that need. But yeah, he's a talented guy. He's good in the pass game, great in the run game, and like you said, just a shit stirrer out there too. So I would definitely want him in my locker room.
And maybe he knows that the Niners are going to move on from Aiyuk relatively soon, and then they can give him that not the same contract, but a contract that is more money with that off the books.
Maybe it is a waiting game. We shall see, as the NFL never sleeps. We will obviously follow it ear to the ground. The NBA playoffs are happening and the NHL playoffs are happening. Ratings up 141%.
Wow. Damn.
That's because the people that are getting introduced to hockey for the first time are falling in love with it. How could you not? It's fast. It's dangerous. It's electrifying, especially when Sidney Crosby is doing the thing. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, Stanley Cup champion American hero, TJ Oshie.
Yay!
How you doing?
What's going on, boys? How we doing?
Dude, great. Thank you for joining us, man. We've loved watching you on ESPN. Obviously, we got a chance to chat with you at the beginning of this whole thing. You've done great. Hockey's up and to the right. That's because of you. So you need to go ahead and take a victory lap. It's not because of the lads on the ice, but let's talk about the hockey that is being seen at a rate that we haven't seen in some time. Let's start down there, Pittsburgh, Philly. We were there for last week's game 3, I do believe, and it was ugly. And what I seen on the ice was a Flyers team that was bigger, stronger, faster, and more talented than the Pens on that particular evening. It was pretty obvious. Now, what's his name? Sanheim? Spit on the ice towards my direction.
Come on.
Who's 74? Tippett. That guy needs to be suspended from all of hockey. He's way too fast and mean looking in this entire thing. All the boys were fast, strong, and just bodying the Penguins. Then Sidney Crosby comes alive in game 4. Then Tanger's scoring goals. Pens have a shot, a realistic shot here, TJ, and how excited should I be moving forward that this is a 7-game series?
I think there's a chance. I mean, if you wake up Sidney Crosby, this guy is unbelievable. I played against him in so many different playoff series. That one-timer you just saw there is so incredibly hard with the puck coming the same direction you have to shoot it. He's able to do things that just a lot of us aren't able to do. Watch it again. See how it's already coming towards the net. Like, you maybe practice that every once in a while and just, think you're good and you can do it in practice. To do it in a game and actually score in a playoff game is unbelievable. I hate the guy and I love him at the same time, just in the respect factor. But I love him too. We're all good. We're all good.
I'm on your side, kind of, but very much not so.
But I also hate him just from all the rivalries.
I understand.
And but no, he's the guy that has to lead them. And honestly, Pittsburgh fans were all over me when he was hurt. I was saying they're not going to make playoffs. They made playoffs. I gave him a ton of respect, put him in my top 5 power rankings, and now they're down 3-1 in the series. So maybe you don't want me rooting for your team, but. He just does so many things. The fact that he was able to pull that puck out with his feet and then pass it with no stick, he's just unbelievable. And he's going to have to lead them. They got some young guys over there with not a lot of playoff experience. So if they're going to have any chance of getting back, it's going to be on Sid's shoulders.
And watching him, Tanger, and Gino do their thing at this age, and then watching LeBron do the same for the Lakers has just been a crazy trip back in time. Time is a circle, and the Pens have a chance to continue to extend the series tonight as Sidney Crosby and the boys are back home. Hopefully that'll happen. Now, let's bounce around the rest of the playoffs here. Colorado is just they just smacked the shit out of just beat the ass of the Los Angeles Kings. And everybody said it was going to happen. This is like, seems like everybody in hockey says Colorado's the problem. They're the ones that are going to win this entire thing. They start out this hot. Why does everybody believe in them so much? And is it real? Will this be able to sustain throughout the entirety of the playoffs where they just win? They don't lose a single game through all the playoffs. Is that possible with this Colorado team?
I don't know if that's possible, but in every metric that I would say is important as a player and someone that's won the cup, 5-on-5 goal differential is so incredibly important. I think they're number 1 both offensively and defensively in that category, and it's like not even close. You'll find referees, and I'm sure a lot of home fans get mad, but referees really do try to stay out of it for the most part. So you see a lot of 4-on-4. They'll take 2 guys if they think there's one big hit, one guy maybe embellishing, whatever it is. Colorado, they just come at you constantly, and their goaltending's been phenomenal. For me, it was a little bit of a question at the start of the year. Their goaltending's been top of the league as far as the tandem. They really are the real deal. And honestly, the story about kind of this series a little bit, one of my favorite players I ever played against was Anze Kopitar. I only have like a couple of sticks like that I had guys signed. He was one of them. And so for this to be his last game, reminiscent about me, my last series, everyone was like, your back's hurting. We don't want to watch you do it. And I was like, just let me play one more playoff series, please. We got swept by the Rangers, but I got to play in my last 4 playoff games. Kopitar got to play in his last 4. He got to do it at home. So, hats off to him and his career. He's honestly one of the best and one of the most well-respected in all the league.
Yeah, stick top to you, Kopitar. Yeah, seriously.
Always
There he
that
is,
sick,
big boy.
smoky visor.
Captain. We're in the sea up there.
Yeah.
They got smoked, obviously.
They got smoked, yeah. So did we when I retired too. So I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
Great run though, as the Colorado Avalanche continue to start cooking here in the playoffs. The 141% up year over year is so good for the sport, so good for sports as a whole, because the sport is phenomenal, especially whenever the big teams are playing well. Conman has a question for you, TJ.
Yeah, TJ, he's referencing that number 3 viewership right there, the Boston Bruins. It feels like maybe you're rooting for them since they suck right now. The Blade gang came into the Garden and absolutely dominated us. I am sick of these sons of bitches. Someone needs to do something about them. But is this a situation where the Boston Bruins got embarrassed so bad, almost as if they never played hockey before, had these guys skating around the TD Bank North Garden and absolutely dominating them? Could they bounce back? Is this one of those like, hey, if you are even a little bit of a hockey player, you won't just get embarrassed 6-0, 6-1 in the end and lay down? Could they possibly turn the tide, or does Buffalo have that moxie in them that makes you think maybe the Sabres can go on a run to the Cup?
Well, I guess that's a little bit of a two-parter. I do think Boston can turn it around. I think one of the worst wins you can have is a blowout win, especially in a playoff series, because you start sitting back and thinking that, oh, it's going to be easy. A lot of the goals came, don't get me wrong, Buffalo did a great job. They dominated them in every facet of the game. They were phenomenal. But that next game, up 3-1, just had a massive win. Human nature sets in a little bit, and you feel like you can back off a little and, we'll just try this little play through the middle here. And, this is a high-risk play, but I'm going to try to make it. We're up 3-1. We're dominating these guys. And in a playoff series, that momentum can switch really fast, especially for a team like Boston. I have so much respect for the Boston Bruins, and it was always so hard to go in there and play. I'd never played a playoff series there. I imagine it would have been phenomenal and almost a bloodbath. You would have liked to maybe see Boston last night. I don't even care what happens. You're out of the game. Just start creating havoc. This is still hockey here. Just drop the gloves. Start running guys over. Whatever it is. I don't care what it is.
Let's start thumping a little
Throw
bit.
some balls, boys.
Boys, come on.
Don't
Drop
get
the mitts,
suspended,
boys.
but that's what you'd want to see, right? You want to get a little reckless, get a little Tom Wilson on your squad or something like that. But Boston can get into this if Buffalo sits back and think there's going to be a cakewalk and they're just going to win the series 4-1 and it's going to be easy. I think they'll have they'll be in for a little bit of a surprise.
So you're saying maybe the Bruins did that on purpose. They say, you know what, let's let them win by a lot, so then they think mentally that they're so much better than us, and they'll start relaxing, and all of a sudden, boom, we're putting sticks to teeth like Jack Hughes had in the Olympics.
And that's kind of what Zadorov did yesterday as well. Rasmus Dahlin, their captain, he came across the middle after a whistle, and Big Z basically said, you know what, you son of a bitch, how does this cross-check feel? Bang, and they got into it a bit.
Okay, I like that. I also appreciate the fact that you, hockey player, go, hey, boys, you're getting killed, at least fight. At least do something here in the playoffs.
You have to make an impact like every time you're on the ice. You should make, as like a forward for me, I want whatever defenseman I'm going to go against, I want him to be petrified that the second he touches the puck, I'm coming full speed and I don't care what happens. We're maybe we both get hurt. It doesn't matter. But that's kind of the mentality you have to have in a playoff series, right?
Yeah, I mean, we certainly, I don't know that because I've never played in a playoff series. It does appear to be that way, though, that every team that wins has that mentality. Florida Panthers last year, I think in game 1 or game 2 of some series, they were either up or down by a bunch. And the coach was mic'd up and he was like, hey, every time we're hitting them. This is a 7-game series. Let's see how much their bodies can handle. And then your Capitals team. You just mentioned Tom Wilson. What a son of a bitch that guy is.
Yeah.
So handsome. So handsome.
Good-looking guy.
So attractive. And just such a bully. This guy is just a bully out there with dangles. Not supposed to be as talented as he is. Got to have that guy on your team, especially in hockey. I like the fact that you're like, yeah, that 2026 sports still staying that. That's why hockey's incredible. Might be why plus 141% in this modern time that we're in right now. D-Bud has a question for you about electricity.
Yeah, my Panthers are out of it, so I haven't been that dialed in. But I did catch some of that Lightning's Canadians game, and that environment out there, I think it's the Bell Center, was unbelievable. The series has been incredible. Who do you have, I guess, coming out of that series when it's all said and done?
All said and done, I got Tampa coming out of this series, and that's more so because of the playoff experience that they have, their veteran presence. Kucherov, I think, is going to start really heating up here. Hagel's been unbelievable this whole series. Montreal is one of those teams, kind of, you could even look like the Utah Mammoth, even Buffalo a little bit, that's so high, they can score so much. It's a little bit of this new age, not like the old school, I guess it's not even really old school, but like the Florida Panthers, like you just mentioned, they just bullied teams for the entire playoff series for 2 years in a row and won 2 Stanley Cups. I think Tampa can do that a little bit. I think Kucherov is an unbelievable player. I had Tampa as far as the path, we did a couple different power rankings. The path power rankings, I had Tampa, I believe, as my number 2 team. So I got Tampa coming out of this series. I think Montreal's improving every year. I don't think this is the year that they're going to be able to go all the way. I could be wrong there. But I think Tampa is a powerhouse, and they just need to find their game. Looks like they found it in the third period last game.
Man, if another Canadian franchise just gets knocked out of the playoffs, that'll be a real bummer. That'd be a real bummer. How about the refs wanting Edmonton gone?
Yeah. Crazy.
What did you see last night? What did you see last night? How do you feel about it? Let's get a ruling from TJ Oshie officially. In my eyes, dumb eyes, I don't play hockey. I can't really skate, but that is a goal. And that would be the end of the game in overtime, actually, if that was ruled a goal. Initially, no ruling. It was kind of blown dead. Then the refs potentially looking up at the Jumbotron while kind of chatting, rule it a goal. Then they go to review. The ruling on the ice has already been deemed a goal, so they have to conflict that in the review to overturn it. They end up saying it is a goal. Anaheim goes crazy. They are now up 3-1 in the series over McJesus and the boys of Edmonton. TJ, your thoughts on it all? And it was a goal, right? I mean, it felt like that if we were to use deductive reasoning from where the puck was sitting under Jari's skate. Tristan Jarry, great Penguin for a while.
Sure.
Forgot how to play goalie for us. Seems like he did get it back up there for Edmonton. Do you think this is a goal? What is your thoughts, TJ, and how should we be viewing this?
So I think common sense says it's a goal, right? I don't understand, based on the positioning of the ref, when the puck goes across what we assume is across the red line. So there's the linesman here. On the flip side, there's a referee. I don't see how he sees that it's a goal. Maybe from his angle, he's above the goal line, so maybe he can see a little white, and that's why it becomes a goal. But he didn't call it a goal originally. This was going to stand with whatever they made the call on the ice. If they would have called no goal on the ice, this would have still been a no-goal call, I believe. Unless the refs have some unbelievable camera angle that we don't see. I don't think they do. I think it's a goal. I don't see how they call it a goal. It's very confusing. This is usually pretty straightforward. The referee must have seen a little bit of white as he was skating down the goal line behind the red line in front of the puck. Otherwise, I don't see how you call it a goal. I had one against this in 2016 against Pittsburgh. It was in overtime. It was a wraparound. I didn't even see it go in. It looked like it could go in. I just started cheering. There's no way anyone on the ice, any ref, could have called it a goal. But our whole bench cleared like we won, and they called it a goal. And then eventually it was just a good goal, and we won an OT against your boy, the Penguins.
You win the mob, obviously. You win Rome. That is what they say. So celebrating right in the face of somebody and then getting a call has to be great. McDavid skates over to the boys and goes, lads, no way. There's no way you were able to see that was a goal under Tristan Jarry's thing. In the end, they, after review with each other, talking to each other before making a ruling, decide it's a goal. There is a chance that they looked up. There is a chance that I don't know how quickly Jumbotron was running replay, but whenever they're doing that discussion to kind of figure out what the hell's going on, there's a chance that one of them looks up and goes, boys, it's goal. It is.
That's goal.
It is clearly a goal out there. We don't know the process. Seems like you don't really trust the process, but in the end, potentially the right call was made. Anaheim goes up 3-1. Is that an accurate take on your take?
That's an accurate take. I think everyone can see that it's a goal. I don't see how they have the proof that it's a goal or that someone saw it. I would love for like a referee to come out and just do an interview real quick and be like, yeah, I saw the white behind the puck. It was a goal. We call it a goal in the ice. And you can't prove otherwise on the video. It'd be great to have something like that.
I love the drama. I love the controversy. Our refs don't do post-game interviews either.
No.
They got a pool reporter where maybe they would have got a quote for that where they would have said, it's goal. Review said it was a goal. We move on. Anaheim's up 3-1, so you guys down the road. That's kind of how the NFL refs would have to operate. Sounds like the NHL is doing the same. The hockey playoffs are electrifying. TJ, you've been great on TV. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to watch you and for joining us today. Thank you for the time.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate you guys.
Hey, good flow, lad.
Great.
Fantastic.
Excellent, Lettuce.
Let's go.
You still skate or no?
Not since my last game. Nope. Nope.
Actually? Seriously?
No, I haven't. No, it's been almost 2 years. Yeah, probably almost 2 years to the day. Probably getting close.
Okay, so I stopped kicking balls as soon as I was done. I'm like, I'm done with it. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to continue to hurt my leg. But also, I just want to kind of close that entire chapter and just kind of move on. Is that what you're doing, or you just got sick of lacing up the boot?
Oh, no, I miss it so much. I live in Minnesota now. I could get in a solid game. Like, there's retired NHLers all over the place. I'm too much of a Band-Aid. My back would probably go out one back check, and I'm in the training room, but there's no training room anymore, right? There's no training room.
Yeah, got you guys on IR out there. Jeez, I'm too much of a Band-Aid.
Go to the hospital.
Too much of a Band-Aid, boys.
You hockey people are the best. Ladies and gentlemen, Stanley Cup champion, Band-Aid, TJ Oshie.
Yeah, TJs.
Too much of a Band-Aid.
Love that.
Former nail gun.
Used to be. What do you take? 7 straight penalty shots?
At least.
Against
At least.
And what Olympics was that?
Sochi against Russia, I thought.
Yeah. Czech or whatever.
TJ was in the morning. We're watching. Here he comes again, Mr. America. Bang. He was on that Washington team, though, that obviously
cheated. Yeah.
Had a battle against the Pens. Sid's still doing it. He showed his respect. I appreciate that. Hockey's bringing it. If you haven't watched, you need to. It is fantastic. Speaking of fantastic, we'll try to find that next hour. Be your friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life.
And the Commissioner, Roger Goodell, making his way to open night 2 of the 2026 NFL Draft.
Come on, Pittsburgh.
And here's a familiar face and voice to make the announcement. Well, look out, everybody. Here comes McAfee.
They said yins are getting soft. Yins are getting tired. Are you Yinzers getting exhausted from so much football celebration or no? 0 arrests last night in the NFL draft compound. Pittsburgh Yinzers, congratulations. Now, the Indianapolis Colts first-round draft pick was Sauce Gardner, and he's better than all of your first-round picks for sure. The Indianapolis Colts have not won the AFC South in 12 years. That changes this year. Jim Irsay from the football heavens cured Daniel Jones's torn Achilles. Michael Pittman got sent to the Steelers, and in return, we got football gods with the 53rd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The AFC South Kings, Indianapolis Colts select CJ Allen, linebacker from Georgia. Go Dogs. Listen, there's a lot of negativity about the Indianapolis Colts. What you need to do to all that negativity is you crush it up, you put it into your palm, and you think to yourself, does any of this matter anymore? No. The future is the only thing that matters. The Colts are going to win the Super Bowl this year. Way better than you bum-ass Chargers fans down here. I'm joking. I like your team. I like the Colts more. I also like with the 78th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Indianapolis Colts select AJ Oshie, DB out of LSU. See you at the Super Bowl, bums. Cheers.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this massive Overreaction Monday, April 27, 2026. Hour 2 of this program begins now. Sports are the best. We're so incredibly lucky that we get a chance to chat about them. There's so many things happening in the beautiful sports universe. The fact that we're sports fans, we can say we're lucky, but right now is certainly the time in which we are very thankful for sport. NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, NFL drama, MLB happening, and oh yeah, the Kentucky Derbies this weekend.
Yeah. Race week.
Let's
as well
go.
in Miami.
Marathoners.
NASCAR's racing, marathoners going crazy, soccer players punching people in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, sports is delivering at an all-time high.
F1 Miami. The
Whoa, I thought you were in.
Thought you were an F1 guy.
I didn't do that. There's someone back there.
Come on, man.
It makes money.
F1 and done, hopefully.
Nope.
Are we in the middle, end of the season?
Back after a long break. Had 5 weeks off, I believe.
They had a
5 weeks off.
They had to cancel a couple.
reason.
Yeah,
They had a wartime break.
They had a couple. They had a couple.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Okay, a lot going on.
They're back.
Going on. Happy F1's back.
If they're not
F1's happening.
if they're not filming a sequel to that F1 movie, there's really no need to check in on F1 until they start doing that again.
That's the Talk Table at Boss Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys AP Tone is here. And F1 enthusiast, 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler is here. Hell yeah.
They're getting into golf.
Are you going?
Oh, golf's happening. Oh, the Fitzes.
Yeah, Fitzies.
Shout out to the Fitzes. I watched that down in New Orleans, the Zurich Classic. It was team golf. I think it was alternating shot. The Fitzpatrick brothers actually win it. Younger brother of older brother Fitz that we actually know, he now earns his tour card because him and his brother win a PGA event.
That was dope.
It was beautiful.
That was
That's
awesome.
a wonderful story. Something that we probably wouldn't have paid much attention to because it seems like a gimmick. You got 2 on 2 on 2 on 2. It's like, I appreciate that. Are they doing a scramble, alternate shot? The Fitzpatrick boys end up at 31 under to win the Zurich Classic as younger brother Fitz joins older brother Fitz on the PGA Tour and also select events, or heightened events, or elevated events because he's a winner. And old Fitzy here has been crushing this year. He's been top 5 in like everything. They're talking about the amount of money that he has earned, but it's also like he is about to break. This might be the one here. You know, Scotty Scheffler obviously going through what Scotty Scheffler's going through. His swing's different. He's yada yada. He's still Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
Who's going to compete with him every week whenever he's playing? I think Fitzy's becoming the guy that people can depend upon. And now his little brother's getting into the action because of him. That's a beautiful thing coming out of sports. Once again, sports is the greatest. 18th hole, tied up. What are you going to do with your second shot, Fitz? Oh, I'll put it to 6 inches for my brother to tap that thing in so he can join me on tour. Dreams coming true. Sports being great. Joining us now live from Manatee, Ohio is a college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winner, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Yeah.
What's going on, Hawker?
Not much. What a chip right there. Could you think you could do that when it comes to 18? You know, a lot of ground to cover, a lot of sand to cover, and put it there, 4 inches, 6 inches?
Yeah, so I've found that if it's like a fairway bunker or one of these longer bunker shots, I'm going to be in trouble. I can get it up and out.
Yeah,
I can't get it up and down and out. You know, that's kind of my problem. They say, well, you just got to change where you're hitting it in a sense, like to win the tourney for your brother to live his dream. Right now, what do you got, pal? absolute nails, perfection to sing. What if he chips that in? Obviously not as good, I guess, as little brother tapping at home to kind of send him on his road. Yeah, sports are incredible, AJ. We obviously just chatted about the draft a bit. What's your big takeaway from the NFL draft after you've analyzed it here for a few days? Obviously 3 days of spectacular stuff in Pittsburgh. 805,000 people have come and gone. Not unique. Humans in the NFL draft experience as a whole. It was a special week, I feel like, in Pittsburgh, and maybe every single kid drafted is going to be a Hall of Famer, AJ.
Yeah,
congrats to them.
Maybe.
Congrats to them.
Chances are that probably won't happen, but yeah, we hope there's a good chunk of them that will make it to the Hall of Fame. But I think I said it during the show. I said Friday, the Giants, I felt like their draft obviously did very well with Harbaugh, his first year as head coach. I think New York in general. I think the Jets, if you look at the haul that those guys got, David Bailey, they got Sadiq. I believe they got Pons as well, Omar Cooper Jr. I think this is a pretty solid draft class, especially picking up Cade Klubnik. Was that the 4th round they picked him up? You never know what he's going to be.
Yeah, and I don't want to, just compound it a little bit because it is the Jets, and I assume their fans are thinking there has to be some disaster around the corner, even though good things is happening. No leaks either. Sportsbooks had no idea who the 2nd overall pick was going to be. I think that's great news. You go back to the graphic about the stats of the NFL draft as a whole. Congrats, SEC. Woo! That's SEC. SEC. Most draft picks for the 20th straight year, whatever the SEC as the draft as a whole. Night one, though, Big Ten won the evening in first rounders. And Ohio State ends up with 11 draft picks from their football team. Congrats, AJ.
Wow.
Over there.
Yep. Thanks. Yeah. That's the best recruiting tool you can have, though. We all know that. You show how many guys you put into the NFL pipeline. That's what gets those young guys coming to your school.
Almost every school got somebody drafted except for a few.
Oh, no.
Who didn't make it?
I'll tell you, they're saying mean stuff about Belichick and Lombardi right now.
Whoa, come on.
They got to build it.
Yeah.
1 year.
I'm just saying they're saying it. They're saying I'm not saying it. I'm telling you, they're saying it.
Mountaineers?
Well, none of their recruits are really draft eligible yet, though, right?
Correct.
Yeah, though that's what they're saying.
Dak,
Yeah, that's what Belichick and Lombardi are certainly saying. What other people are saying is, I thought this was the 33rd NFL
Bingo.
team.
Come on.
That's what a lot of people are
It
saying.
is tough when you call yourself the 33rd NFL team and then you don't have anybody drafted.
Yeah, people were saying a lot of mean stuff.
The approach.
And they were bringing up a lot of stuff. He was being supportive this weekend, and everybody was kind of burying him. I don't like that one bit. You know what I'm saying, AJ?
Yeah, I saw that. I wasn't exactly sure. You're never sure what is AI and what is not when you're out there on the internet.
True.
But yeah, we all need a supportive spouse, don't we? Like you got to support your partners.
You'd hope for one at least. You'd hope for that to be the case. Absolutely. West Virginia had no draft picks. That'll change.
Oh, yeah.
Trust the climb.
Similar situation.
That's not our
Trust the
motto.
climb.
Similar situation. Rod's got to get his guys.
Bingo.
0?
We're finding them.
I can't imagine.
Not a one.
Draft pick.
But that's because everybody went back because they wanted to build it.
Yeah, bingo.
You can take credit for Trotter.
Yeah,
Nope.
you could.
He did through another school, yeah. I
Nope.
mean,
Left for good reason. Couldn't imagine not putting out a draft pick. What are you guys doing?
UConn had a guy drafted.
Yeah. Bullet in the call finalist, Skylar Bell, Buffalo Bills. Ask Bean about him.
All right.
Mr. Fanano.
CJ Donaldson
Well, he got
got drafted.
invited.
Well,
CJ
yeah,
Donaldson got drafted too, so that's kind of.
Yeah, that's a West Virginia guy. We got a lot of guys. Trotter, Donaldson, all these
They just weren't
guys.
West
Kevin
Virginia
Bryant
last
would have
year.
been a first round.
Yeah, we got 5 guys getting drafted in the first 15 picks in about 3-4 years because they're all sticking around. And guess what they're going to have on their fingers? National championship ring.
Bingo.
That's right.
Yeah,
And Cal.
they got
Everyone
really
says it.
big rings. Yeah, and they're going through the draft thing. Yeah, absolutely. Let's
Oh,
pivot
big
away
fraud
from the
sticking
draft
around.
and let's move to a brand new segment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so incredibly lucky to get a chance to chat with so many people on this particular program. We like talking to people that are experts in their field. Every once in a while, we just need a hard-hitting, quick acting segment. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are now introducing...
Yeah, it's a Shams drive-by. Just need a hot five. What's going on in hoops? We don't need a deep dive. Shams drive-by. Just need a hot five. What's going on in hoops? We don't need a deep dive.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now with the Shams Drive-By, Shams Charania.
There you go, Tommy.
Shams.
I love the fork.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there it
back
is.
with the
Still got it.
Always
Watch that.
Got to get that
Jeez.
yogurt. Okay, got to get the yogurt. Okay, let's move into the Shams Drive-By. Obviously, there's a lot of things happening. Let's dive directly in. LeBron James looks like he's back to 2006. LeBron James of this Los Angeles Lakers. Last night, they weren't hitting shots shots early, thought it was going to be a long night for him. It was. Obviously, Luka and Austin have been injured. It's been LeBron's time alongside his son, Bronny. When should we expect Luka and Austin to return, and how do we feel about the Lakers as a whole?
Yeah, Austin Reeves, we'll see the next couple of days how he feels. He could play on Wednesday. That's game 5. He was a game time decision, game 3 and game 4. So there was a chance he was going to play. But listen, he had a grade 2 oblique strain. So 4 to 6 weeks, that 4-week period, that's coming up here closer at the end of this week. So I think game 5 very much well within realm for him. Luka Doncic, though, not returning in this series. The expectation would be he continues to ramp up. He's starting to do more on the court, J.J. Redick said yesterday. And so we'll see second round if the Lakers are able to advance. That's really where his timeline could open up. And, as the series progresses in the second round, we could get updates. And then elsewhere, Pat, in that series, Kevin Durant, he's missed 3 of 4 games in this series. Jeez. He had a knee injury. Then he's got an ankle sprain. I was told yesterday that he has a bone bruise diagnosed as well in that ankle. And in season, I've dealt with reporting out Kevin Durant when he has a bone bruise in his ankle. It's usually a couple of weeks when he has a bone bruise in that ankle because it leads to stiffness and swelling and lack of mobility. I think the Rockets are preparing to play without him the next game as well. And you think about the young core that this Rockets team is trotting out: Reed Shepherd, Amen Thompson, Alperen Sengun, Jabari Smith Jr. They played 61 minutes so far this postseason. They've actually outscored the Lakers by 31 points in those minutes. So I think leaning on that young core is what the Rockets will probably look to do here moving forward.
Last follow-up about that particular series before we move to the next, and this Shams drive-by, they need a hot five. KD, it felt like there was some confusion maybe in the reporting of where he was. Maybe his team didn't know where he was, and then I see him wearing camouflage on the bench immediately after all that reporting. What was going on with all that, and why was there so much conjecture, if you will?
Yeah, I think anytime you have Kevin Durant on your team, there's going to be a lot of conjecture just because he's a lightning rod. You think about guys like him, Steph Curry, LeBron James. These are looked at as the greatest players of this generation. And obviously Kevin Durant, whether it's in Brooklyn, in Phoenix, and now in Houston, there's always going to be chatter about how he does, how he fares ever since he left Golden State. But I reported yesterday he was at the Rockets facility. He was doing treatment there. He was working with the team's medical staff. They had multiple team meetings over the course of the day. He was a part of all that. So as far as I know, as far as I've reported, he has been 100% a member of everything the Rockets are doing, at least off the court. He's just not able to do much on the court right now.
We hope we see him back soon. Obviously, the Slim Reaper is an absolute stallion. Watching LeBron do what he's been doing, fantastic. Can he close out the series?
That'd be cool.
They were going to go for a sweep.
It's unreal. It's unreal what LeBron is doing right now. At 41 years old, year 23, they were a heavy, heavy underdog going into the series. Whether you have Kevin Durant or not, I think a lot of people clearly felt like Houston was going to win this series. And so you take away the last couple of games, right, with Kevin Durant being out with the bone bruise. Even still, the Lakers went up 2-0. They went up 3-0 in commanding fashion. And LeBron James, the way he's playing, it's like a lot of it is like, hey, I can be that guy. I can be that dude.
There's a guy listening right now that'll be joining us shortly after here, the Shams Drive-By, that I hope just heard what you were just saying right there, because there's been a lot of LeBron James is certainly in the conversation of who could be in the Mount Rushmore of basketball. But there's been a GOAT. A lot of these stats that are going to come out, it's going to be tough to argue against. And if he wins this series, like Big Perk said, carry on through this entirety. Let's move on in the Shams Drive-By. Go ahead, D-Bud.
Yeah, staying with the stats and maybe even a GOAT conversation at some point. Jokic, he, at the end of the game, down 3-1 now against the Timberwolves, he obviously had a little scrum with McDaniels. Any fallout from that with Joker and the Nuggets?
Yeah, no real discipline. We got 2 fines. Nikola Jokic was fined $50,000. Julius Randle was fined $35,000. I think the NBA interviewed everyone involved here: Jokic, Jaden McDaniels, etc., officials. They reviewed all the footage. There were a couple players really on both sides of the team. That you have Aaron Gordon, Jonas Valanciunas on the Nuggets side. You have Rudy Gobert and Bones Highland on the other side that kind of got off the bench and were kind of in the vicinity, but no one that really impacted the altercation. So the NBA 20 years ago, Amari Stoudemire, I'm sure listeners remember, he got suspended for leaving the bench area. He wasn't participating in an altercation with Steve Nash, but he was getting off the bench and he got suspended. This NBA since kind of loosened that up a little bit, as long as you're not interfering. But, thankfully, and I think it's good for the game, you kind of move on from that. You find these guys and you keep it moving. Nikola Jokic clearly felt a certain type of way. And now the Nuggets, they're down 3-1. I don't think anyone saw this coming going into the series. Nuggets had home court, and now going into Game 5 tonight, 2 massive injuries to Minnesota. Dante DiVincenzo out for the season, torn Achilles tendon. In the first half on Saturday night, the Wolves lost Dante DiVincenzo to a torn Achilles, and then Anthony Edwards hyperextended his knee. And I think the fear with the Timberwolves immediately was ACL, PCL, MCL, one of the ligaments. Thankfully, he's avoided any ligament damage. But listen, this is an injury, bone bruise, hyperextension. Yeah. He's going to be out at minimum 2 weeks. It's really just nebulous based on how his rehab goes. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but they're hopeful. If they can get past this series, potentially get him back later on in the playoffs.
Nebulous is certainly a way to describe it. That's probably what I would say. I watched it live happen.
Oh, God.
That was disgusting. I don't know how he didn't, because he's so athletic and he flies so far. And then he's turning and he lands backwards and his knee you watch it just kind of go on top of each other. It was disgusting. I don't even want to show it. We made the decision not to show it because of how nasty it kind of looks. It is very nebulous.
Very.
I mean, think about it. You lose your starting backcourt.
Hazy, vague, or indistinct. I don't know how that works. I'm just learning the definition of nebulous. It was not what I thought it was. I thought nebulous was lucky. I thought it was like he got lucky out there.
No, it's hazy. It's hazy. Like it's moving around. It's fluid. Like could Anthony Edwards come back in 2 weeks? I think he's a Wolverine. He's a fast
could be 6
healer.
weeks.
He's a Wolverine.
But
done for the playoffs.
It could be longer. So they don't know. It's all about the rehab. But 3 games now, Denver could have a chance to win here if they win out this series. You're playing without your starting backcourt. It's just a completely unforeseen turn of events for the Wolves.
Yeah, it sucks. This kind of professional sports as a whole, especially basketball, I don't know how they don't get injured all the time. Wood, running, how long the season is. Best of 7. If you can stay healthy, you can win it all. That's why the Pacers, Game 7 last year, finals. Tyrese was going to score 60 points maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Be an NBA legend forever. We're going to win it in Oklahoma City. I watched an E60 thing on Oklahoma City and Indiana, how much it was about. It was an incredible story, especially of Oklahoma City fans, how much they showed up and how great it was. But, boy, we're supposed to win that injury, take us down. It's happened in the NBA. It seemingly is the story. Anthony Edwards, obviously a bummer. Luka, obviously a bummer in this entire thing. Somehow a 41-year-old still going. I don't want to keep taking it back to that, but that is still an insane.
Tonight, this is a big Game 5, but even tonight for Denver, Aaron Gordon has a calf strain. It's a pretty bad strain of that calf, and he sat out Game 3, gutted out Game 4. We know this guy is tough as nails. He played through a grade 2 hamstring strain in Game 7 last year against Oklahoma City, just to gut it out, and he labored through it in Game 4. But I'm told he's expected to be out tonight. He wants to play. I think the team's going to have to protect him from himself. And so you think about Aaron Gordon, he's their leader, he's their emotional leader, he's their glue piece. And so you're probably, if you're the Nuggets, preparing to be without him tonight, and then a massive Game 5, you're facing elimination at home.
Does that say 10:30?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck are we doing?
We can't be mad. We can't be mad. We're happy it's 3 games. It's like March Madness.
Right.
Yeah, we get one after another. We get one after another. Okay, last question as the Shams drive-by has certainly gone longer than a hot 5. Go ahead, Connor.
Shams, Wemby was a bit nebulous when he was talking about his concussion protocol when it came to the games. I wasn't really sure what he was getting at. Can you elaborate a bit on that? And is this series over? Can we just kind of write it off as good try, Portland?
Yeah, point blank, period. Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs believed he was cleared to play in Game 3. Wemby, he said it to Malik Andrews after the game. He was unhappy. Like, he was pissed. He was frustrated he wasn't able to play in Game 3, and I think that's where a lot of the frustration goes. But listen, the reality is concussion protocol, you have to get sign-off from your own team doctors, which supposedly happened on Friday, but then you also got to get sign-off from the league. And there's a league concussion protocol director that's involved here too. So Victor Wembanyama obviously aired out his frustrations about it. He didn't want to go too in-depth, but I'm here to tell you guys, he felt he was cleared to play Friday. He felt like the Spurs doctors had cleared him to play, and that's why the frustration comes into play when the league decides he wasn't. But listen, even when he was cleared on Sunday, it was 116-ish hours post-concussion. And so, the league, if you're going to clear a guy 3 days post-concussion, that is a quick recovery. But listen, there's a reason why Wemby is called the alien. This guy is just, it's insane how quick he moves and he heals, and his body and his limbs. Like,
You're right.
He's a different specimen.
I actually thought the floor was going to get dented instead of his head.
Yeah.
And his brain, whatever. Because he ate shit there pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was some real, he ate wood there.
How did he not fracture his jaw?
That's 7 feet.
No facial issues.
Yeah, that's 7 feet. That is from right here, right? If we count his head just being in proportion to his body, that's probably 7 feet above the sky, running full speed, Dahn into the thing, eats it, and then he was like, "I was cleared the next game." I don't know what we're talking about. I love the way he operates, just like I appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. That is Charania.
Yeah, Shami.
Just need a hot five. What's going on in hoops? We don't need a deep dive.
Okay, thank you, Shamsi. See you, brother. See you, brother. That was deep dive into a couple different things.
Yeah.
Some things need to be explained, AJ. You know what I'm talking about. And to do a little bit more of that, we got an NBA champ, an absolute stallion, a stud, an analyst on ESPN, and a guy who should be on TV more, Iman Shumpert.
Yeah, Sham.
My guys.
Hey,
what's going on?
Okay, so you just listened to all of that from Shams. It was supposed to be faster than it was, but we had to dive into some stuff to get some more information. Now to you, 41-year-old doing what he's doing. They just got their asses beat. Okay, I understand that happened. They almost swept the Rockets, but they don't inevitably keep the entire series alive. How should we be viewing this Lakers team and what LeBron's doing? And Iman, I don't see any Jordan stuff. It seems to be eerily missing from the frame over there.
Oh, no. I'm on the road right now. You caught me on the road, baby. I ain't got no control over it right now. I'm just ESPN guy right now.
That's all.
But LeBron and what they got going on, I didn't expect them. It was going to be a hit or miss game, that game 4. It's hard to beat any team 4 times and just send somebody home. But the way they've had to do it. LeBron has had to find different ways to manufacture points using his team that he's got available right now. But Marcus Smart has played with a ridiculous amount of energy, a ridiculous amount of passion. I figured either they come out still rolling on that cloud or they come out and they lay an egg. And, they came out and laid an egg, which is okay when you're on the road because you only wanted to steal one on the road anyway. As far as the Lakers are concerned, they did their job when they were in Houston. Now you come back to LA and you can close it up for game 5. So I think that the Lakers are right where they want to be.
Okay, let's stay in the West because obviously there's one team that's potentially in the middle of a dynasty. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Shump, OKC is dominating the Suns, which is not completely shocking, but they're also dominating the internet with hate. The internet hates OKC, and it's a flopping thing. It's a lot of stuff. Should we actually hate OKC, or are they just really good at basketball?
I think that's what winning does.
Yeah.
Winning pisses people off if it's not happening for their city. I talked about it before on some other shows that it's amazing how much now I could look back and just really say, man, it was great playing against that Golden State team. But when it was happening, I hated them. And I was cool with everybody that hated them. That's what's special about basketball. You get 48 minutes to hate whatever team, whatever emotions you get to harbor. These are a bunch of great guys. That the more you hate them when you have to root against them, the more you would accept them and value them if they came to your city and played for your team. So I think that the OKC Thunder are exhibiting exactly what the champions should. You either are with them or you are against them. Either way, you feel something when you look at this team because they play defense. There's 5 guys up to touch, pressure all game. And honestly, when their bench comes in, I think that the defense goes up a notch. So you're dealing with duress the whole game. And then you had the whole thing where they're saying that, SGA gets the whistle. And I was completely shocked to see him game 3 go out there and play with that much emotion and screaming and yelling all around because he said he doesn't really need the foul. And I would like to see that continue as the playoff goes on.
I think a lot of people are saying that, like, hey, you don't need to be the foul merchant. You are a good enough player. I think he goes, 8 for 8 or something like that?
Yeah, he started the game unbelievable.
He goes crazy. And you're talking about him yelling. I love the emotion. Anytime somebody at the top gets emotional, it almost just like shows that they care. When somebody's super cool and has been there before, I respect it. I'm like, wow, this is a professional. But whenever they get excited, I'm like, see, deep down, this is life or death for them. And it's very clear with how SGA plays that he's a stud. But boy, it is easy to not like them, especially as a Pacer fan. They were spectacular last year. Maybe they go on a run again. The Western Conference feels like it's the story. We talk Lakers, we talk OKC, and then they got an alien. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, Shump, what about the Spurs? We talk about Wemby all the time, and last night on the broadcast they're talking about Area 51, Castle lobbing it up to Wemby over and over again. I guess, do you see anybody slowing this down? I guess in the first half, Drew Holiday had some success on Wemby, really just never giving him any space. But how do you stop this whole situation in San Antonio?
Well, you don't really stop it. It's more a pick your poison thing. I think you have to play way more efficient when you play San Antonio. I think that your offense has to kind of be your defense as well, and vice versa. You have to take good shots on offense to make sure that your floor is balanced so that you can deal with their attack on the breakaway, because not only do they have the attack on the breakaway, but then they have now the lateral pass now made to Wemby, who's also going to attack downhill or come to set that drag ball screen to get you into more actions that you have to deal with him at the rim. You have to have a tag man that gives them an open side on the three. Everything that the Spurs do keeps pressure on you. So to play against them, you have to be a team that can basically mimic or mirror them. And they haven't run into that. They won't run into that until OKC.
Okay, so they're going to run into OKC at some point. Are we talking about Spurs winning title?
If they can get past that that thing they call the MVP over there. The way SGA performs at the end of games needs to be studied, because he goes possession by possession. He turns it into a chess game. It's just so many people don't get a chance to really study that or watch it, because the OKC Thunder will go out there and convincingly win a game to where he doesn't even have to pull it out. But when you watch them go at the end of close games, you really do watch him turn into exactly what they need to get done. J-Dub not being healthy and them continuing success in the postseason like this is, something to smile about. But even when he gets back, that's even more for OKC to come out here and be a threat. So until the Spurs are able to get a game against them for us to actually gauge it, I still think the monster in the West is okay.
Yeah, and the torture chamber was trending this weekend.
Oh, boy.
I mean, he's a problem. He's a problem. They're saying he's twitchy. He's a little twitchy. His leg gets a little twitchy. Every once in a while, something happens. He's the torture chamber.
Yeah.
He was a problem. I mean, last playoffs.
The torture chamber is crazy.
That's what they were calling him. When he was playing the Pacers. He was just eliminating people from games. It's like, who the hell is this guy? That's the torture chamber. You get locked in there, you're never coming out. It's like, it did feel like that.
That is.
And all of a sudden, the torture chamber started getting arms and legs. And he wasn't just keeping it inside the vehicle.
No, he's not.
Hey, man, it get crazy.
They're saying they're letting that leg get out there. I appreciate it. They were showing a recap of all his shots. Him shooting and
kicks that foot out.
In making the shots.
Yeah.
It's like, that's incredible. That would be cool if I was.
Well, I mean, they do teach you to fall forward. You're not supposed to stick your leg out. You are supposed to put your whole body out there, though. It's the John Shire. John Shire used to do it at Duke. Him and Kyle Singlet used to do it to us all the time. We used to hate it. They shoot the shot and they let their whole body fall forward and then stand completely straight, so that if you do touch them, they'll fall off balance. And that's just one more, but they've completely finished their shot. So he's actually doing that. He just splits his stance to make it a bigger stance so that he could get a foul. I think he's going for a foul. I don't think he's going for hurting people. I would hope that my boy is just going for the extra point at the free throw line. He ain't getting it all the time, or really nearly any of the time. But I hope that that's what he's going for and not hurting people.
Anybody that's looking for a 4-point play, I respect. Let's go to the East. Yeah. Jason Tatum just had a 4-point play for the Celtics, and also what he's doing, spectacular. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Sean, we're talking about the West. It feels like the only team in the East that, can basically make a run is the Boston Celtics, and what Jason Tatum doing personally, I think, is the greatest thing in sports right now, save the marathon runner who just broke 2. But with the Celtics, with what you're seeing from them, this might be the deepest team they've ever had. They typically, even when they went and won the finals a couple years ago, they didn't have the bench that they currently have right now. Pritchard went bananas as well. What are you seeing from Tatum? Do you and all your other NBA champion buddies in a group text talk about how ridiculous it is that he's doing this less than a year off an Achilles? And do you see the Celtics as being the biggest contender to that OKC or Spurs that are going to come out of the West?
Yeah, I think that Boston is obviously one of those teams that isn't worried about the West as much as, the rest of the Eastern Conference teams. I think we were trying to see who could possibly win the East, and if they come out of the East, that would be okay, but then we were heavy on the West. I think Boston is the one team that can make this a good series, and I think that they are the guaranteed team at the moment, at least from what my eyes see, are the only team that could come out of the East. I wanted it to be the Knicks. I would love to be in New York when it's hot outside. You know what I'm saying? New York in June. Oh, that would be amazing. But I can't see New York doing it this year just because of like what you were saying. You have to be able to play 10. I don't feel like New York goes as deep, especially not with the trust. Their trust lies at the top of their roster. And I'm talking about the very top. I mean, Jalen Brunson exclusively, especially at the end of games, to manufacture offensive points. And with broken plays. I think he's the only one really willing to accept that pressure besides OG Anunoby. They get Karl Anthony Towns involved, and when Cat's involved, I think especially in this series, it's going to pay off. But in the later rounds, I can't see it as much for the Knicks as I want to, man. I just see Boston being able to match up because they have a deeper bench, because they live and die from 3. A lot of teams go out here and they try and give you a healthy diet of just playing the right way. Boston puts the pressure on you to play like them. Otherwise, they're going to be successful at the end. It's a numbers game.
Yeah, and Boston also, it's not going to get talked about enough. Lethal shooter.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I've seen them hit the rim since Lethal Shooter
Buckets
has come out there. And also, Peyton Pritchard, what is his problem?
He's just.
I think it all started with that Reggie Miller.
Yep.
The Reggie Miller quote happened. Caitlin kind of, turned her face up at it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think he has to go out here and remind him. So I think that's where the looking at Reggie was confirmed during this game. But Peyton Pritchard, since he's come in the league, has had this gifted ability to say, at the end of the shot clock, at the end of the game clock, at the end of the quarter, if you don't want to mess your percentage up, give it to me, and I'll figure it out. It's some of the most exciting stuff in basketball. I don't know why more players don't chase that moment. I think it provides a tremendous amount of momentum going into the next quarter. And I think Peyton Pritchard has kind of mastered that play to the point that now it becomes a weapon against other teams. Other teams, when they have end of quarter shot, you always are thinking about him, even though you have a Jason Tatum and a Jaylen Brown on the court. So what Boston is able to cook up with the way he's been playing has been incredible.
Yeah, Peyton and TJ McConnell battling last year was a nice little battle of bread.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was a good little Mayo battle. 32 points in Game 4 off the bench for Peyton Pritchard. 6 3-points made. Both of them are threes made. Those are both career high in a postseason game. Only Kevin McHale, 34, on May 17, 1991, has scored more points as a Boston reserve in a postseason game. I like the word reserve there.
Yeah.
It's being used in a tweet in 2026. I like the way that operates.
Yeah, no turnovers and no free throws. He got all 32 of those.
The hard way.
The hard way. Yeah.
Real buckets.
Yeah,
real buckets.
Exactly.
And by the way, it's crazy that we have to highlight this game as a Peyton Pritchard game when Jason Tatum just quietly poured in 30.
11 and 7.
Off an Achilles.
11 and 7. Yeah, off the Achilles. And the satisfying part for me as a basketball player, especially as a player that has gone through a ton of injury, I have watched him come back, play with confidence, trust his body, still not have the lift to go out here and punch it on somebody's head the way he once did. Not having that pop, not being able to stop on the dime as quick as he once was stopping, and still being able to have his way with this league can only be more than satisfying. It's got to make your mouth water if you're Jason Tatum to say, I don't even have I'm not even 110% yet. I kind of am like 80%, and I'm still 30, 10, and 7 better than y'all. That's the part that's encouraging for me, especially if I'm in a Boston uniform, to be able to look side to side and say, we got a measly 20 from Jaylen Brown today. Like that's a chill. He didn't do much.
Hey, Iman, doesn't this always kind of happen to these Boston teams somehow? There's always some bullshit.
But they just get a really good team.
Yeah, but also this guy recovered faster than anybody in the history of Achilles. Of course,
changed the game.
Of course, it's a Boston thing. Now, obviously, Daniel Jones went to the same doctor, I do believe, as Jason Tatum. So I'm excited for him, what he's about to do.
We'll see.
Yeah, he can punch on folks, though, because he's got a little bit more time.
Tatum was rehabbing 3 times a day. We'll see if Tyrese and Dan Jones and all these guys are putting in as much work.
Don't it put a lot of pressure? It put a lot of pressure on Tyrese, don't it? Seeing Jason Tatum play like this, just put a little pressure on him, man. It's crazy because it's a long road coming back from an injury like that.
And then when Shingles drops in, yeah, right. Have you heard about this? Do you know anything about Shingles at all? I'm learning about it through Tyrese. It's the work. I don't know how let's make sure we never get that. I mean, he got this in the middle of his Achilles recovery. This shingles, I guess it's inside your body. I don't know how it gets activated. Something happens. But basically, I think it's like nerves are telling his skin that it's itchy and it's like he can't sweat. I think there's like medicine. I mean, it's tough. This has been a really big battle. I think on the other side of this, if Tyrese is able to mentally continue to go, because he hasn't been able to do a lot of shit because I think he got to his eye.
Yeah,
I think he goes from his head to his eye in this entire thing. It's like he's.
What is it, like the medication side effect?
The medication side effect made him look fat.
Yeah, it made him gain weight.
That was a steroid that made him look fat, and they were calling him Halliburger. Yeah. They were saying that on the
Tyrese's,
which is very rude. But they're trying to figure it out right now. They were calling him Tyrese.
They did.
Yeah, double stuff. The big one.
With the Oreo.
They're calling him fat Iman. We didn't like it because Tyrese is like super skinny guy actually, but he's battling right now with that shingles. So I think if he mentally can get on the other side of this, I got absolute faith. But yes, on that note, Jason Tatum is bringing me a lot of optimism for anybody that has an Achilles now in 2026. It feels like science has gotten to a good spot. Let's talk about tonight a little bit. There could be some massive storylines coming out of it. Go ahead, D-Bud.
Yeah, Shump, you mentioned the Celtics. You mentioned your Knicks. Didn't even mention the Detroit Pistons up there at the 1 seed, but kind of back against the ropes against these Orlando Magic down 2-1. They obviously face off tonight. Do you think the Magic can pull it off in advance past the Pistons?
I don't know. I'm not as discouraged as everybody else because I know that if Cade Cunningham is turning the ball over, I know Detroit can't win. So there's times that people may get a little panicky with them, but they have to understand, especially when watching this team throughout the year, that's how they play. They play at an unbelievable pace, but it all depends on Cade Cunningham. The decisions down the stretch, especially in the third quarter setting, it seems like they come out of halftime, they look like they're lethargic, they don't really know what to do, and Cade Cunningham completely takes over the game, completely takes over the pace, and puts them in a position to win every night. He's had to do that on the back end of the season after having to sit out for that the lung thing that happened. But everything that's going on with them, I feel like it's on schedule. The Magic playing above and beyond with this type of passion, the defensive prowess, the know-it-all to run around and be everywhere. Like Anthony Black getting everywhere and being this active didn't happen all season. Paolo Banchero being able to say every time we need a bucket, I'm going to now act like the seasoned veteran guy and take a 1 or 2 dribble pull up at my spot and knock it down and have no facial expression whatsoever. If you would have told me all these things were going to happen with Orlando with the season that they were having this year, I would have told you, hell no, I can't go. But right now, what I'm seeing is, wow, we can play with Wagner down the stretch. That can put some pressure on people. Having Desmond Bane be a shooter right there, that's a threat. That'll put pressure on people. Paolo Banchero not feeling like he got the weight of the world on his shoulders now that Wagner can handle because he's healthy, that'll put some pressure on some people. Understanding that, I still look at the number 1 seed like the number 1 seed. And if they come out here and they win tonight, okay, now I'll understand that, hey, now you have a must-win situation. But until they go out here and go up in the series, right now I think that Detroit is just getting they bearings together and they're understanding, okay, we're putting a lot of pressure on you, but you kind of knew that was coming. Next game.
Cade, I think 9 turnovers last game. Obviously, that's not a fantastic thing. You have loved the Pistons since before the playoffs even started. I appreciate you keeping the faith with them. Allegedly, Coach Mosley of the Magic showed the boys highlights of themselves from college and reminded them of who they were, and that has shown them who they can be together.
Wow.
Yeah, allegedly, I believe that was the story in the middle of the play-in game.
Yes. Smart.
After they lose the first one, it's like, hey, let's remember who we are here. They've certainly delivered in a big way. Tonight should be fantastic. Iman, we appreciate the hell out of you, man. Anything we miss in there that you want to get off your chest?
No, but in the words of my boy Shannon, man, I think it's gonna be Lakers in 5. I think it's gonna be Lakers in 5.
I love that. I love everything about that. What would he say? He would say something about LeBron James, Rick James, fuck James, Lakers in 5.
Yeah.
I believe is what he would say.
Yeah, but LeBron on the Lakers, he usually do somebody else.
All right, let me hear one. Good unk. Let me hear a good unk one.
It got to be like KD, LAPD, OP, are you with me? Lakers in 5.
Unk's a legend, as are you. We appreciate the hell out of you, Iman Shumpert.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all, man.
Divorce court, child support, Lou Dort, Lakers in 5. That was
his last
one. He is the man.
That's great.
He is the man. He's so outrageous. And he is just what? Absolutely jacked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what a time to be alive. What a time to be in sports. The NBA playoffs are cooking right now. Hembo Stats says the most underdog wins that there has been since 2014 in the first round. Because remember, we all thought it was going to be a very top-heavy type playoffs, especially with how it began. Instead, the teams have kind of found some parity, AJ. The NBA playoffs actually delivering, and you can't just automatically know what's going to happen in a game.
Yeah, they are delivering, and they've all been fun to watch. But is there a reason why do we think the underdogs are having some success this year?
Well, Lakers are now favorites, so I think that is obviously a huge ordeal. But I also,
which is wild with losing 2 studs with that much scoring too. The fact that they're favorites is crazy.
Yeah, favored by 2.5 points. And I'll tell you, watching LeBron and Bronny was pretty special because they were showing a lot of old school Bron with Bron.
Yeah,
like hey, this was just yesterday. It seems like, and then now he's throwing oops to him in the middle of a playoff game as they take over like a 10-minute period of the game. It's unbelievable to talk about. It is. I feel like such a mark, doing this. But I think we've been pretty open. And why I respect and appreciate LeBron, I've seen him. I lived in the era. I'm 38, so this is literally, he's 3 years old. I've literally watched him kind of the entirety of this. The sustainability, the amount of greatness, just kind of the competitive spirit, just so many things about what he has accomplished. It's outrageous. And I don't want to glaze him all day, but he's 41 about to win a playoff series by his damn self with who he created, his kid helping him out. It's like it's a banana story.
Can't forget he gave us the LeBron versation too, so that'll always rank right up there with it. But I think Rich Paul said it maybe on his podcast or his show. When most players come out, what are your goals? What are you looking forward to? Most players want to provide for their family, get them out of situations. LeBron James has always been like, hey, I want to be the greatest. And to be doing this at this level, 23 years, we see the Bronny pictures. We see a bunch of coaches now on the sideline who have played against LeBron. Like, it's just insane. We've seen all all-time greats, guards, big man, forwards, getting to past year 15, you just fall off a cliff. And for him to still be contributing and producing at this level is insane.
I saw the Oklahoma City team up close and personal. They're unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I agree with that. Watching Wemby here has been fun.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
Especially the fact that he's like, my brain was healed. They said it wasn't. I don't like that. Like, he is a dog. He's violent.
Yeah, that first.
Punishing. And he hates OKC.
Yeah.
This isn't like a rumor thing. Like, him and Chet Holmgren actually have, I don't know if it's a two-sided beef, but in Wemby's brain, him and Chet Holmgren are deep rivals, and so that'll be even better.
NBA keeps cooking. NHL keeps cooking. We have to correct some news in the NFL. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, senior NFL insider for ESPN, Adam Schefter. Schefter, Pickens didn't sign the franchise? What happened? We all heard that he signed a franchise tag their day of draft. We reported, I think everybody kind of reported it. What happened? This turns out it was a pump fake. It was in invisible ink, maybe. How's this kind of come together here?
We reported he is signing, not that he had signed, and the plan is him to sign. I'm just telling you, so I checked in this morning, and he has not yet signed it, as Todd Archer pointed out. Not signed. I checked in and was told, and I can read you the text. Basically, it says, it was draft weekend. Signing the tag immediately wasn't first thing on his mind.
I love this guy.
Got him.
That's the wild card. I love this guy.
GP football.
All right, we appreciate the hell out of you. So we should operate as if he is going to sign, but it isn't signed.
We said he is signing. We'll stand by he is signing, but he is not yet signed.
All right.
Good luck.
All right, thank you. You're the man, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Schefter. Okay. That was not what we were.
Come on.
That is not how I understood everything.
Talked about that for 10 minutes today.
Yes, we thought literally.
These fucking guys.
Which one?
These journalists.
No, whoa. Insiders, journalists.
And I love Schefter.
Me too.
Someone in the organization like, hey, George told us he's going to sign. Okay.
I mean, this was a big deal at the draft. This was a big deal when we heard this happen. Like, people were scrambling behind the stage.
Yeah,
he almost fell down. He almost walked into the wall.
Yeah, his full shoes super wet.
He did. He got soaked by water.
I had to move it, remember? Yeah. Hey, move this way. You're standing in just a
He could have been standing in a fire. He would have had no idea.
Yeah, it was.
It's the business.
Okay, so on the record now, George has not signed his franchise tag, but certainly thinking about it.
Man, I just, them going to him like, hey, we need you to sign this. Like, it's draft weekend, bro. Get the fuck out of here. I got a lot of shit I gotta do. I love George Pickens. Packers need to do whatever they need to do to trade for this guy.
You want George? You just signed Reed.
You
just signed Wicks.
I know. I just fucking bring him home. Let's go. I need this guy. And yeah, there's going to be some bumps and bruises along the way. Okay, but you just got to live with that.
I would like him to be on the Indianapolis Colts.
Exactly.
Yes.
I don't know if we're going to be able to pay him after what we did. And what is Jawan Jennings doing? Who knows? What's Diego Pavia doing? What are these guys that maybe won't make it in the NFL? Well, there's a spring league that has an investment from a man who seems to be very passionate about making it work and has also had success in the past as a serial entrepreneur and businessman. Ladies and gentlemen, the founder of Repole Stables, as we head into Kentucky Derby weekend, he's got the two favorites. For the Oaks and the other one.
Boom.
What is it, Bruce?
The Kentucky Oaks and the Kentucky Derby.
He's got the favorite both of them in his stable. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Repole.
Yeah, boy.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Pat. Thanks, AJ. How you doing?
Hey, fantastic. We appreciate your passion for everything that you do. We read a quote out of your Repole Stables Twitter account the other day. Sorry, X account. And the way you phrase things, I wouldn't trade places with anybody heading into this Kentucky Derby. I'll take Todd Pletcher, Ortiz Jr., and the best horse in the race, Renegade, from the one post every time. Is it ideal? No. But I'll take the one post over 15 to 20 posts all day with Renegade's closing style and explosive late kick. He'll save plenty of ground while others are running extra distance. You can get trouble from anywhere, but being that far outside could cost him 7 to 10 lengths. And don't forget, since 2021 with the new starting gate, the inside posts are positioned better than ever before. If Renegade is who we think he is, the one post won't matter. No excuses. Some people say I have bad luck at the Kentucky Derby. 0 for 8, plus 3 scratches. 2 of them being favorites. Yikes. I see it differently. I'm blessed. Blessed to have these opportunities. Blessed to have the Derby favorite with Renegade. Blessed to have Oaks favorite with Zany. Great luck to all the connections in both the Derby and the Oaks. Let's fucking go. Okay, so I wanted to read that strictly because clearly bad news for your horses here, but you have this incredible ability to turn it into a positive. Are you like that with everything, and do you think that is why your businesses have been so successful as we find the middle?
I've always been like that. I mean, for me, listen, Pat, I'm the type of guy that if you told me fucking something's 99%, I'm out. When you tell me something's 1%, I'm like all in. So honestly, I'm 0 for 8 with 3 scratches. How much worse can the one post be, right? You know, it can't get any worse than that, right? I've scratched Derby favorites the day of the Derby, the day before the Derby. I mean, you know, having the one post, if I get to run, I'm happy.
Okay, well, I hope your horses win for the sake of your persistence in this and investment in the horse game. Let's talk about UFL. Okay, so we have followed the UFL and the XFL and the USFL and all these spring football leagues. Normally, they are managed poorly. They don't get a lot of ratings. They don't have the greatest quality of ball. You come in with great energy, great juice. Feels like the league is feeling it from you. I pitched an idea about Diego Pavia being like a perfect blueprint for your league. You came back and responded, yes, I would absolutely love it. How does it work? If Diego Pavia was to somehow decide he wanted to join the UFL before maybe joining an NFL team, which is certainly still possible if he was to finish this UFL season, would he be able to play this weekend? Do you reach out to him? Like, how does the UFL work out as a whole?
I mean, it's funny, Pat, because everything you just said was true about our entire league. And I also get motivated when people send me your clips and you call it like the
USXFL. Yeah. There's been a lot of names.
I love that, by the way. It's motivating, to be honest with you. So it works this way. We can call him today. I can suit him up tomorrow and we can play. Like, it's really up to that. Like, the ability that we can do things in this league. And when you said the businesses were run poorly, they were not run like an entrepreneurial company. Like, this is an entrepreneurial company. Like you can't make this a corporate league. You can't make decisions over a 10-year period because it's going to take time. It's going to take energy. It's going to take money. It's going to take innovation. It's going to take time listening to the fans. The WNBA is finally working. MLS is finally working. Guys, it took them 20 years. I got news for you. I don't have 20 years for this, and we're going to try to do something way different than every other league and make it affordable and fun. Listen to you, listen to AJ, and listen to the guys on social media.
Okay, so I saw Tessitore calling one of the games. There's obviously been great crews. There's a partnership with ESPN and with Fox. The stadiums, I think it's going to take, like, what is the plan to fill stadiums? Because I think that's a big deal. Are we getting smaller stadiums, or are we going to stay and continue to try to grow?
Yeah. This didn't take a lot of time, but the smaller the stadium, the easier it is to fill. I found that out.
Yes.
So, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, if the NBA had to play in a stadium with 80,000 people, they wouldn't sell out. If the NHL had to play in a stadium with 80,000 people, they wouldn't sell out. If WNBA, like, only football, college and pro, could fill a stadium up to 100,000 people. So we're not that, and we don't want to be that. So these soccer stadiums that are being built every week, by the way, they didn't exist 20 years ago. So now putting these people in, like in Louisville, this Lynn family, it's 15,000. It was sold out on Friday night. You know, when you're watching it on TV, you can't tell if there's 15,000 or 50,000. And the stadium, there's not a bad seat in the house, and the noise in that small stadium. Listen, for soccer, I like soccer. There's a loud, good play like every 25 minutes. You know, every 25 minutes, you get a good play in soccer. Here in football, you get a fumble, you get an interception, you get a 10-yard run. Fans are cheering the entire time. So I really think these stadiums are made for the United Football League.
I think so, too. And I enjoy the fact that we have spring ball. I appreciate the fact that you have invested and you're passionate about it and you're continuing to evolve what the league can be. We continue this conversation with co-owner of the UFL, Mike Repole, on digital as our linear show ends. We appreciate you all so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Okay, I think we hit it perfectly. We're still live, obviously, Mike. Now, whenever you talk about the UFL as a whole, St. Louis is what? The success blueprint that we're looking for? Like, hey, that is the goal of every franchise?
Well, their fan base and the attendance is the goal. They play in the Dome. They get about 30 to 35,000. Which, you know what? If you played at one of the soccer stadiums, 20, 25,000, you would sell out every time. I mean, St. Louis lost their football team. It was they like to go to the games. They like to they like to enjoy themselves. So I would say, like, the Defenders, the DC Defenders playing an Audi field that fits 20,000. I would say stadiums that fit between 15 and 25 really is the blueprint. Now, St. Louis is different. You know, if we ever went to San Diego, I think that would be different because they lost the Chargers. But in most markets, I think it's really playing in these soccer venues where the fans are 15 to 25,000, spring football, fun, affordable, and just watch some great players, man.
And we can bet on it too, which is also good news. AJ has a question for you.
Yeah, Mike, I know people when they watch, they want to see like what the quality of play looks like. And I haven't seen a ton of it so far, but my good buddy Ted Ginn's coaching the Columbus Aviators, so I've been tuned in and watching those guys. And there's great players all over the place. Obviously, we know that. But I just wonder, like, how do you continue to elevate the level of play, and who do you choose, I guess, on who you target to go after to try to sign some big names to bring into the league?
Yeah, I mean, AJ, it's a great. I mean, you know, I'm going to make you the co-commissioner and Pat the other co-commissioner because you guys have a lot more experience here than me. And at the end of the day, you guys would know this. The guys that play in the NFL in the top 1%, the guys that play in the UFL are in the top 1%, right? So I'm learning that if you get drafted by, you know, I'm good friends with Tom Brady. If the Jets would have drafted him, you know, I always tell Tom he'd be working at Morgan Stanley, right? So, you know, so who knows, right? You need the right coordinator, you need the right coach, the right system. So I'm watching that it's such a fine line between who makes it and who doesn't make it. So the talent is out there. It's just about how much time and effort we can put into it. And the other thing I'll say quickly is the way the college game is going, each player's there for 9 months. Are they really developing college players nowadays? Nobody's going to stay there for 4 years. I think that's going to be an advantage in our future.
Okay, so are you thinking about becoming a feeder system? Because that's obviously the conversation is you have to see a pipeline from your league to the NFL to continue to recruit guys to come play in your league. That is a conscientious effort of you guys to understand that if we produce NFL players, we'll be able to get more people to come play here?
I mean, Pat, right now we have 35 players in the NFL that played in our league and that are now on rosters. In June, July, once our season ends, 140 to 160 will sign deals with NFL teams. And how many will make it, we're not sure. But, you know, I'm learning this as I go, by the way, and you guys are great sounding boards. Trust me, I listen to you guys.
Oh, no. Don't be doing that, Repole.
Uh-oh.
Don't be doing that.
I'm trying my best. Pat, listen, I gotta listen to everybody, right?
Smart.
So
Smart.
For me, they got this, you know, the players that play on the what do they call that team? This
practice squad.
Practice squad. I mean, there's 15 to 20 players there. What do they do? Why can't you give us those players? Let them get reps during a game and move them to us. They'll get better playing in our league for 10 games than they will on a practice squad getting 6 reps a year.
Interesting.
No?
So who would you have to negotiate with? You'd have to negotiate with the NFLPA and also Goodell, right? That's who you would have to get that deal done to become an actual feeder system for the NFL?
Well, you know, it's either a feeder system or, you know, listen, they're going to find out when people get reps in our league that they might not be ready for the NFL or not as good as they thought. So you wind up trading players. You know, I think this way, players that will play in our league could play for 3 to 10 years. I think players can move up, but it doesn't always happen, right? The minor league systems could have a guy in their AAA for 5 or 10 years before they move up. So, I don't know if it's a direct feeder system, but definitely an opportunity where we can listen to their coaches and put people in spots that the coaches would like to see them in.
NFL Europe had that, I think, for a while, right? Because I think you get drafted and then we get sent to a team potentially in Europe. Amsterdam, I believe Vinatieri got sent over to by Patriot. I don't know. Somebody sent him over there. Yeah. But that used to be the way it went over there. Maybe the UFL becomes the spring version of what NFL Europe used to be. Yeah. Maybe we start seeing some players that we know. Listen, and I think the Diego Pavia thing is a good play. I don't want to ask you publicly what you would offer him, but I think with how many weeks left in the season, if we knew more of the players' names, I think that is something that you need. And with way rosters are constructed in the NFL right now, that's deep down the line at the quarterback position. Mm-hmm. Quarterback position is the most important spot. Some of the guys are good players. Like I enjoyed watching Jordan Teamu and
Heineke,
a couple of the other legends of the UFL.
Corral.
But I turned on the other day or yesterday. I had no idea who any of these quarterbacks were. So I'm like, all right, let me learn about these guys. And then boom, they're on another quarterback. It's like, all right, that position is going to be tough to figure out regardless for a spring league. But if you were to get some of the players from the league that are on practice squads, okay. Now we're talking.
Pat, no doubt. I mean, the emphasis on the quarterback next year is going to be crucial, 100%. with the rules that we have, I bet you one of them you probably don't like too much is the no punting inside the 50. I'm sure you might be mad at me a little bit on that one.
No, it kills the average anyways. That's actually a pretty good little rule. And then what you do with the field goals, too, phenomenal. Actually, D-Bud has a question for you.
Yeah, on that note, Mike, any other rules coming down the pipeline? Love the 4-point field goal rule from 60 plus. Would love to see that in the NFL as well. The no extra points. Any other rules coming down the pipeline to, I guess, encourage higher scoring games?
I love it, man. Right now, what we did was no punting inside the 50. We made the 60-yarder a 4-point play. This one we did, and I'm telling you right now, I think the NFL should go to it. The 1 foot instead of the 2. We had a guy in the Orlando game yesterday make a top 10 ESPN catch, and he only had 1 foot. Usually that play doesn't count, and it doesn't make the top 10. I mean, these quarterbacks can get the ball right there. These receivers can make these incredible catches with 1 foot. You got 1 foot in, it should be a catch. But listen, I want 40-37, man. I want scoring.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I would like highlights out here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start making more highlights. Let's not take away catches. Let's make more catches. I like the way you're thinking, Repole. Obviously, we appreciate that. A big part of the business side of it is obviously going to be people not only watching, but going. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Mike, I don't want to sound like a dickhead when I ask this.
He's going to sound like a dickhead. That's what that is right there.
But
listen, I grew up with a bunch of dickheads. I'm ready for this. It's
perfect. How do you guys plan on creating fans, or how difficult has it been creating fans when, like, ultimately, not to sound too brash, but like it's early on, like no one cares. Like, it's week 4. We just had the NFL draft. So you have all these people who are, looking at their NFL team and look at it. It's like, oh, we got this guy, we got this guy, we got this, all the while you guys are playing, and it's what, week 4, you got the playoffs around the corner. But like, listen, everyone wants spring football. We miss it when the season's not here, but how are you going to create fans when, your season is right in the middle of the draft, which is very important for a lot of NFL fans and teams? And then on top of that, you have the NHL playoffs, you have, playoff basketball. Like, how difficult is that process? And I guess what is the goal there?
Yeah, that was the least dickhead question I've ever received in my life.
The least? I think I asked a pretty non-dickhead question earlier.
We all didn't. I mean, it was nothing. So listen, we got to create excitement, man. Like it takes time. Number one, I think we got to move the season up just a little bit. I'm not sure exactly when. A little bit right after the NFL. As far as the NFL draft, you know what? Last year, the first round got 15 million people to watch an NFL draft. You can't get an NBA final or a World Series to get 15 million people. Round 2 got 5 million. Guys, for some reason, and AJ and Pat, you might know, football now is so dominant. The ratings are like unbelievable. As we're getting 1 million viewers for 2 teams that nobody knows where they are, and players that nobody knows, and we're getting 1 million people watch. The NHL playoffs this weekend had 1.3 million, 1.5 million, and like 1.7. This is for a playoff game on ESPN. So we're there. We're very close.
I think so, too, and especially if we can get some players in there, because ball will always, carry. Defenses seem to be ahead of the game over there.
Oh, yeah.
Defense is flying around.
Got some players.
There's some guys moving on the defensive side.
I think because it's our preseason, now it's going to start to pick up. But the other thing is these smaller stadiums, it's also about picking Louisville, Columbus. They have no they don't have a pro sport team, or they have 1 or 2 sports. We just announced Oklahoma City, right? So picking non-NFL markets probably better, but we'll have some NFL markets. But when we look at expansion, we're going to look at markets that maybe don't have NFL. That on a Friday, Saturday night, let's go watch the Columbus Aviators, man.
What are the Oklahoma City team name? What's their name?
I don't have it now, but if you guys
Tornadoes, lightning.
I was thinking the Dickheads.
That was not bad.
That's pretty good too.
Dickheads not bad. I think lightning would be a phenomenal thing for thunder. Feel the thunder.
Yeah.
Lightning and the thunder. And the Oklahoma City people will show up.
Yeah, Salt Lake City would be a good place to do it.
If you can get anything in Salt Lake, they'll do it.
Listen, Austin, Salt Lake, Omaha, Albuquerque, who knows, New York City, maybe.
Des Moines.
Anyway,
Des Moines, Iowa. Yeah, that's not a bad. Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Really?
Watch, you'll be there.
Everybody talks about people from South Florida having other stuff to do.
Watch, you can coach.
We love football.
Love football.
I might coach. Yeah, we got Ted Ginn. We got my guy Captain Munderland.
Okay.
DC over there.
Okay, so these stadiums that you're finding, 15 to 20,000, I think you're right on with that because optically it just looks better. And, it feels like it's alive if you could do that. Can't you build these things up? Aren't they doing that over there? Saudi Arabia built the Royal Rumble arena in like 6 weeks or something like that.
Yeah. 6 days.
Qatar for the World Cup, they built it out of recycled Coke bottles.
I don't think that.
Yeah, they took it down. Pull it up. I remember the whole lower bowl on the outside.
But are you thinking about potentially building some of these smaller venues?
You know what's interesting? I'm going to give you exactly it. We play in the historic Crew in Columbus. That place was built in 2005, and in 2021, they built a new soccer stadium downtown. So we basically are the biggest. We're getting the stadium for almost free. Chicago has 2 stadiums there. Some of these stadiums are being built in different areas now, and new ones are coming all the time. So, listen, in the future, you're right. They can be. And building one in, let's say, Birmingham might cost $150 million, and building one in New York City.
That's what we're saying.
$1.5 billion.
They have new stadiums nowadays. You just put a couple. What are those trailers or the
pods?
Shipping containers.
The shipping containers. You just put a bunch of shipping containers on top of each other. It's like a barn dominium, basically.
Yeah.
They make an entire stadium. Just something to think about. I'm just telling you.
You put them in the middle of nowhere. In the right cities, in the right markets, guys. They will show up. And
we agree. I think so. I think the sport of football will carry, but these spring leagues have not, like historically. And I think the common problem is not good quarterback play and bad business. Right, that is the common problem. One of the leagues wasn't paying their play. They left the players stuck with the bill basically for everything as they kind of just shut down shop in that entire thing. And then obviously the XFL had some holdouts happening in the middle of their league kind of collapsing in this entirety. So I think like ball will carry, but if you can continue to kind of build the quality of quarterback, I think that's the one position, which is going to be tough because how many guys are on NFL rosters? And then the business, why not UFL? Why not you, Repole?
You know what? Why not? You're absolutely. Hey, Pat, everything you said is dead on. A lot of the reasons those leagues ran out was they didn't have an entrepreneur that wanted to run this like an entrepreneurial business. Take chances, take risks, and stop worrying about what people are going to think. Just do it and do it the way your people are telling you, your players are telling you, and your coaches are telling you. That's one. The second thing is they decided they didn't want to throw more money into it. You know what? I might fucking go bankrupt, but I'm just a good shot, man.
Respect.
I was
Respect, General.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And you obviously spend money in sports a lot. Noble is your company. Obviously, you acquired Tom Brady's company in its entire Body Armor in the sports world. Vitamin Water, I believe, as well in the sports world.
Yep.
Repole Stables, obviously in the sports, in the horse racing world, and also St. John's basketball NIL.
Yeah.
Yeah, you. Massive sports guy. That basketball college NIL, how awesome is that to kind of feel fulfillment through?
Being a kid from Queens and going to St. John's a lot, but fucking this year I got to win the Oaks and the Derbies to afford St. John's.
Kids are good.
We got an announcement maybe coming out today on a player. We're 50-50 on him. If we get this player, man, I got news here. If Rick Pitino doesn't get to the Final Four, I'll be coaching the team next year. Signed him 4 years, but he's 74 years old. If he doesn't get to the Final Four, I gotta say it's his age.
Yeah,
right?
Of course. Yeah, there's a senior citizen problem here. 2 Italians kind of going at it over there for St. John's out of Queens. I respect and appreciate all of it. Good luck through everything. Good luck to the favorites this weekend. Zany and
Renegade in the Derby. Both 4-1 morning line, both Derby favorites. Oaks and Derby favorites. Pretty cool.
How long?
But I want the winner, not the favorite. How's that sound?
How long have you been in the horse game?
20 years, and I won the Belmont. I won the Breeders' Cup. I won the Travers. In the Oaks, I got 2 seconds and a third. In the Derby, I suck. So that's about it. So
until this year.
Yeah, but this year it changes. Why not you? Why not Repole Stables? Are you studding any of your horses out? Is that business over there?
Oh, well, we have a great team that picks out the horses. I got the Rick Pitino of horse racing. His name is Todd Pletcher. He's a legend. The best trainer out there. Him and Bob Baffert are 1-2. And, and I got the top jockey, Irad Ortiz. So you got the, whoever has the best player sometimes wins. The most important player is the horse, though. That's the problem. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what he is what you said. We're going to find out about Renegade. If he is who we think he is, he's got an opportunity we can't wait to watch. And it all kicks off Thursday night, right? You got a UFL game kicking off Thursday
night, we got St. Louis Battlehawks and Louisville Kings. Nice party. All your friends are invited. And then I got the Oaks on Friday and the Derby on Saturday. And bringing 76 people, including me. 75 will have a great time, and I'll be a miserable bastard, but that's okay. So, and I get the bill too, by the way. I get the bill too, so that works out well.
All right, man. Good luck this weekend. We appreciate you.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for everything, and I love everything you say, even if it's negative. I love it because you know what, we deserve it sometimes. So you be you, man. Thanks, guys. Appreciate
you too. It sounds like you'll never change either. You're the man, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Repole.
Yeah, Repole.
Yeah, 76 people altogether. 75 people will be having a great time. Me, miserable the whole fucking time, and I got to pay for it. Great. Here we go. Let's run, Renegade. That's all. He's got to wait all the way until the very end.
I like the cut of his jib.
I love that guy.
Me too.
I might go fucking bankrupt with this league.
Yeah. He's ready to do it too.
If that's what it calls for.
Fucking guy loves ball. Put that guy in the Hall of Fame.
Every sport.
Yes.
Horse, basketball, football. I assume he'll try to, what a weapon. All right, I'm in. I'm in on the UFL. I hope it does well.
Yeah, there you go. That's the camp I'm in.
I hope it does well.
Hope it does well.
How about Ty? I don't want to be a dickhead here. Immediately letting Repole know. Dickhead questions coming. How are you going to get fans nobody gives a fuck?
I've tried. I really have. You turn it on in 2 seconds, and fuck this. I'll go watch Sesame Street.
No.
Sesame Street?
Yeah.
No way. I watched 2 games yesterday, back to back. Joe Tessitore's calling one of these fucking games. I had no idea Joe Tessitore's in the booth. I was so happy. I literally saw his ass. I'm like, fucking Tess is doing UFL, and he's also doing what, SmackDown?
Mm-hmm.
He was calling the Louisville team versus Dallas team.
He
was calling people's names.
Back-to-back games.
Yeah, Joe Klatt does some of the games too.
No fucking way you watch back.
I had back-to-back games on TVs.
Yeah, you're right, D-Bot. You're right. Why do we let that go?
We let that just go.
I had it on TV.
There's nothing better than 7.5, 8 hours of UFL football on a Saturday.
They had a gambler pop on. Amanda was her name.
Pamela Maldonado.
Okay, her name is not Amanda.
No.
How did picks do?
Very good.
I don't know.
She's
To be honest, I don't think I heard it, but I liked that. Pamela?
Sharp. I saw former Colt Jason Beans in the league.
Is he?
That's what I'm talking about.
We need more of that.
Former fastest John Ross receiver in the league.
Yeah.
DeAndre Baker, former first-round pick for the Giants.
Kavonte Turpin and
Need more of
the
that.
highest paid kicker in NFL history started there. Think about that.
Yeah, multiple kickers in the league now. Jake Bates also
Stud.
there from the
The Michigan
UFL.
Panthers that don't
Well
exist
done.
anymore, even though they were in the championship last year. That makes no sense.
Well, that's
to
because
me.
you guys didn't show up for your challenge.
I'm pretty sure we showed up for them, and they just kicked us out
Oh,
of the
you're telling me
league.
Repole said, you know what? I just don't want to act like we like that place anymore. That's why he decided to drop
Well,
the team?
according to Repole, he only likes markets that don't already have an NFL team. So
That
you
makes
guys
sense.
have the Lions. See you later.
He likes Marcus that show up, and Michigan doesn't show up.
We showed up.
How about him saying New York City? He was like, yeah, those teams, New Jersey over there. If we were able to get one of these soccer stadiums right here in the city.
If I know anything about New York fans in general, that's what they're craving for, chomping at the bit for, is a new UFL team around this time. He's
We
from
don't
there.
know.
He would know more than I would.
Gladiators,
but
man.
There are a few cities.
What's your problem?
I'm just let's stick with the Birminghams and the. Hey, listen. If a fucking UFL team comes to Des Moines, I will change my tune very quickly, and I'll be wearing a fucking Barnstormers hat. The following
Des
day.
Moines Danger.
Yeah, there you go. That's a great name. I just don't know if there is a very high demand in New York City for a UFL football team, but I could be wrong.
What about Pittsburgh? They should drop one.
No.
See what they did for the
They
draft.
had the Mauler.
But they didn't play there. They played in
right there.
fucking Birmingham.
Yeah, the stadium's perfect, right on the river.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh would show up for that. Look what
Maybe.
they did for the draft.
Maybe. I don't think so, though.
I think they would.
What's
Make a
everybody's
concert
problem?
after
We
the
look-
show.
No, but
Remember
I
the
agree.
Zambelli fireworks?
I agree with Repole. You got to do it in cities that don't have NFL.
Zambelli's shelling out, you think? For the Maulers?
Yeah.
I think Repole would be shelling out.
Yeah.
for the
For
Zambelli
Zambellis.
shows.
That is a beautiful view coming over the bridge.
Oh.
Seeing the stadiums.
City showed up.
Came and signed
Showed
something.
out.
Beautiful.
Horse's name is Renegade, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It's named after you. Did you happen to see the
What is his arm size?
Pittsburgh Symphony player? That's going to be played at every funeral for the next 50 years.
Yeah, that's pretty unbelievably well done.
Play
I
it
can't believe you thought they would
when I
show
die.
up.
When I die soon.
Don't die soon.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Don't
Soon is relative.
I'd like you not to die before me.
Me?
Say that.
Correct.
All of you. Everybody I know, I would like that to happen.
I don't want you guys to die.
Well, I hate to break to you. I'm fucking gonna be dead as a fucking
We don't know.
doornail.
These aliens popping up. We might all go at the same time.
Oh, mama. Hey, what's going on with
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot of people passing away. What's that all about?
I don't know.
There's a lot going on.
Common denominator through all that.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, you
There's
got
some
to ask
scary
that.
stuff happening too. I mean, think about that media thing that just took place over there in Washington. That's scary as hell. All the people that are there. That's a massive collection of humans that are obviously very important. People just feel comfortable enough to kind of run up in that. I mean,
Dinner?
Yeah, that was
was wild.
crazy. That was crazy to watch. And it's like we're like, well, I don't know. I don't keep up with it enough, but we're in multiple wars, right?
Oh, yeah.
Who's going to attack the commander in chief of our country? Somebody from our country when we're in like a bunch of different. That's like crazy to think about. Like, oh, was it an Iranian person that got in there to try to kill it? No. Was it somebody from any of the other wars that we're in? No, it was an American. It's like that bummed me out a bit. It continues to bum me out. All this stuff. It's like, man, let's go. Come on, we're in this thing together. It sounds like there's something much bigger than all of us. Sounds like the way things are kind of being talked about. So let's kind of go ahead and do that. And then I started looking around. I'm like, what is great in this world right now? It's like, well, my daughter's awesome. My fucking daughter's incredible. And sports are just always there.
Yes, always.
Sports are literally always there. It's like these nights where there isn't a game and there hasn't been because the playoffs haven't shown up for us.
Yeah.
I get like legitimately lost. I'm like, and that's whenever, you know, everything else. It's like sports are such a wonderful thing. And we are so incredibly lucky that we're in that world. Those other worlds, scary right now, man. It's very, very scary.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we stick to sports.
How about Pittsburgh not having an arrest on the NFL draft compound for the first? That was insanity.
Incredible.
For ball. They did it for ball.
I tried to tell Roger Goodell that whenever I was up there to make my pick or whatever, you know. I'm like, hey, listen, you guys aren't going to talk about it, but you should. Like in the city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and he was a bartender in the area, so I think he should know. When there's booze and like large gatherings of people for a long time, Pittsburgh is a place where somebody is going to chirp somebody and something's probably going to happen. There was none of that.
None.
That crowd was just all in for ball. And the fact that it broke records and who knows how they count, and they said this isn't unique, people, this is this. It was like, that was a special thing for Pittsburgh, man. That was really cool to watch the whole city get showcased. Weather was phenomenal.
So good.
I assume that helped.
Until Saturday. But
Weather was absolutely phenomenal. And Saturday, there was a little bit worried that the weather was going to scare the Yinzers away from coming back down. But instead, it opened up a little bit. Yinzers went down there, broke the record. And then next year is in D.C., right?
yes, it is.
Go ahead.
Did we get an update on Frank, the Yinzer? Did he actually show up? Was he just
I don't think he did.
talking?
I'm thinking Frank had family that went down there, but he felt obligated to not go because of how famous it was. But it was, everybody went down there. The weather certainly.
So nice.
And also, the traffic wasn't.
No,
Wasn't that
great.
bad?
A different modes of transportation to get in there, too?
The downtown restaurants, though, I guess, did not really benefit because everybody went into the NFL draft compound. So all the things scattered around, I guess, people were in and then people were out. There wasn't a lot of, I guess, city stuff.
Moseying.
So there's been a lot of, hey, this guy's the best, by the way. Dave DiCello. Got a chance to meet him at the event on Wednesday. He took pictures for the event.
Good.
I'm excited to see that. He has every awesome photo of Pittsburgh. He posted these on his X account. This dude is awesome. He wakes up, he told me like 3, 4 a.m. so he can get nighttime photos of Pittsburgh. Obviously, this is not 3, 4 a.m. This is just the event. But if you want to see phenomenal photos of the most beautiful city maybe to photograph, Dave DiCello only collects those, and he has all of them. Everyone that you see that is on any of the sports that take place where they start showing photos or whatever, it's his shit. He was awesome to meet. Having a beer, walking with a camera. He goes, hey, thank you for having me here, man. It's like, no problem, dude. Thank you so much for coming. You were the best. He is
I can't wait to see those.
a weapon. Yeah, me too. I'm really thankful he came. That event was crazy.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
awesome.
That was crazy.
Sweet theater. You say you grew up as a kid going to that theater? Is that like IMAX situation?
Only like one time, a field trip.
Yeah,
we
one
all went
field
down to
trip.
the Carnegie Science
But I
Center.
mean, it's been there. It's been around that long.
Yeah, I think they redid it. I think recently.
Different names,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
the Cayman folk family, I guess. I think I've told the story a couple times now, but it's worth mentioning. It used to be the Carnegie Science Center, and it's right down on the North Shore, so it's in the middle of everything, in the modern world. Three Rivers wasn't directly right there, but Acrisure Heinz Field, whenever it gets built, is right next to it, and then PNC Park, when it gets built, is right there. Then the casino's right there. So, that's kind of like the pillar of what gets seen by the world. It's all in the North Shore. Then he built up a bunch of bars. They try to make it a thing. It became like North Shore is a big deal down there. It is certainly grown in how much it's had impact, but the Science Center has always been a pillar of the place. The Carnegie family was the one that I think funded it at the beginning. We have Carnegie Mellon, obviously the Carnegie family, very famous to the world, but the Carnegie Science Center, I don't know if the funding stopped or what particularly happened, but they were looking for another round of money so they can give upgrades because I guess it had run down a bit, and they sent out a bunch of emails to dignitaries around Pittsburgh for a donation to the Science Center. And I think they were expecting like a couple 100,000 maybe from some people. This Cayman family, I guess, just dropped 40 million in them. They're like, hey, actually, here you go. Yeah, we're fucking go ahead, do what you got to do. So they obviously upgrade, bring in new people. So I think it's on the middle of like a massive comeback, the Science Center. And Miss Stacy and Jason, the guy that runs it, those two with how they communicated, the decisions that were made, how they went about doing it. It was like very easy to kind of do an event there with a lot of work. And it was beautiful. It was cool.
Great time.
It was cool that everybody came. But yeah, that IMAX theater, the planetarium that's there. Oh yeah. There's just so much shit to do in there.
Yeah, I walked every inch of that place. Like, there's so many. I kept walking up the ramp, getting different levels of like different, I don't know, spacewalk situation. There's like meteors up there. We saw Science Dan, I believe his name was. Maybe I'm wrong, but he had a lot of moxie in his presentations.
Heavy asteroid.
Heavy asteroid. Can't lift that even with your big muscles, said Science Dan. I appreciated Science Dan. Then obviously we went to Mars. We're on Mars there for a bit.
Mhm.
Then the train that kind of replicates all of Pittsburgh through it.
That was sweet.
It was cool. It was shout out to the Science Center. That was a really cool venue. We paid for it, certainly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Those Science espresso martinis were sweet.
Oh,
Yes, they were.
delicious.
Those were
A lot of booze. in
Bartenders
those.
had a heavy pour.
Yes, they certainly did with the ice cream. And I think everybody that was drinking enjoyed the heavy pour. It
Yes,
feels like
they
people
did.
did have a good time night before the draft. But everybody that came through, I was very, very grateful for. Very, 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 very thankful.
It was cool. Everyone was there.
Coach Cower.
Different setting that we've
The
never
goat.
hung out with them in before.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I think that's the first time I don't want to continue to talk about the Wednesday night event because obviously we're going to be making a video and there's pictures and you'll see a recap of it. But I feel like that was good for relation.
Yeah. Camaraderie.
Yes.
Everybody. NFL Network was in there.
Mm-hmm.
ESPN was in there. Suits were in there. Game Day was in there, which is normally its own little silo. Felt like there was a lot of people in there. And I think what everybody would take away is that Coach Cower's the man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, legend.
He can hold a room.
He is the man in there. NFL Films also in there. Obviously, they made the movie, so we're very appreciative of them. I don't know if this is the first time that he's been at the bat back in Pittsburgh, getting a chance to experience it, but he got a chance to feel welcomed. Hopefully, something he knew would take place, or maybe it was a surprise. I don't know, but everywhere we went, this guy was the coach.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Coach Carr, of course. That NFL security conversation, getting into that night Wednesday at the Science Center, because we're a part of the NFL draft compound. So getting everybody in required a bunch of shit, so many convos. And then just Coach Cower sitting in the back of the van. There, that's Coach Cower.
Wherever you want,
Wherever
sir.
the fuck you want. We don't have to check it. Just let it go. Well, bomb dogs have to check everything. Nope, Coach Cower's in there. You're right. And it was
They're good.
It was all Pittsburgh SWAT, Pennsylvania SWAT. It was all like Pennsylvania security, Pittsburgh security. So like all the locals were kind of hired to do all those jobs. As soon as they saw Cower everywhere we were at,
Go.
wherever the
Go.
hell, wherever the hell you want. Stopping crowds, stop. Hey, get the fuck. Coach Carr. Coach Carr, right? That's literally what it was like. And I'm happy and lucky that we got to kind of watch that happen because that's how I feel about his ass too. It's like this guy, whenever we were kids, becoming Steelers fans, was the most charismatic fucking Pittsburgh yinzer that we ever had. And he won a Super Bowl for the hometown. And it's like He's a special dude.
And going back to his neighborhood.
Oh,
seeing him, him talking to us about growing up. Oh, this house over here, and this street here, and this bridge, and then going to Sarah Fink. That was all great.
Yeah, used to lift weights in that garage.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. My dad used to preach here.
Yeah, Sunday school used to swear the entire time.
Right here. He had Cower Way. They offered him up a bridge. I ain't never do nothing on that bridge. Give me the alley behind my house is what he chose to name Cower Way. We got a chance to see it all, experience it all. Go to Serafino's. He walks in there. Turns out he played against the guy whenever he was a young lad, Joe. Calaguar, who owns Serafino's. He's a beast. Joe is one of the greatest chefs of all time. I would recommend Serafino's just strictly because of the electricity. But I guess whenever he was 8 years old, the reason why he got into food instead of football is because Bill Cowher ran his ass over. He said, "You bullied me back in the day."
He cut his brother when his brother was going for the Steelers, right? Bill Cowher.
You ran me over. You cut my brother. Well, we love you representing Crafton out there, Coach.
The chicken cutlets at that place, by the way.
So the greatest chicken parm I've ever had in my life, let alone the Genovese. That we had.
The bucatini.
Yeah, it was.
Beans and greens. Yeah.
But everywhere Coach went, it was like he was literally walking on water. And
here comes another one.
Oh, that's the brother that got cut. Yeah, I used to you know what it is, Coach. Hey, listen, I always say I was fair. Okay, I don't care if you're from Crafton. All right, nice to meet you. Let me talk about some other people that I got a chance to hang out with at the draft, just to kind of reminisce and have it on the record. Deion Branch is the man.
The GOAT.
Legend.
Deion Branch is the absolute man. Played for, obviously, New England, long time. Legend up there for the Patriots.
Yeah. Super Bowl MVP.
Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl champ multiple times. He also was announcing the draft pick for the New England Patriots, which wasn't until the very end of the night. But he also played for the Colts for a couple weeks. And I think he lives in Indy. I think the entirety. So I got a chance to meet him whenever he came over to the Colts, strictly because I wanted to ask what it was like at the Patriots. Obviously, get along with him. I think every human that's ever met Deion Branch gets along with Deion Branch. He was electrifying. One of his players from Louisville got drafted while we were there, so watching him go through that entire process was sweet. And then, so shout out to Deion Branch, who doesn't have any social medias at all.
Beast.
You never hear from him. I think he just kind of disappeared. He's coaching right now. None of that. Shout out to him for hanging out because we were just sitting back there for a long time.
Long time.
I mean, it was a long time we were just sitting back there. There is a bar.
Your pick got traded?
Which people, I got traded back 5 picks, which I didn't necessarily love.
Deion's did as well.
Deion was there for 3.5 hours. He didn't do anything for a very long time until the end. But we were having a blast in the back. Kuhn, obviously, back there. He was alongside the drunkest person that has ever been in the draft room, which that guy from Brookville, absolute legend. He knows it too. And Kuhn, absolute dog. Paul Posluszny right there. That guy with that blue tie. Listen, he might, I don't know if he eats rocks. I don't know what all has happened. His jaw is fucking outrageous in real life. It looks like a cartoon character's face. His jaw protrudes out like, what's that blonde-headed guy?
Tony Bravo?
Yeah, bingo. Yeah, that's exactly who it is. It's unbelievable, and he is absolutely stacked still. Obviously, he's been retired. Hair perfect. He looks like a secret agent. Okay, he looks like a fucking superhero, and he was hysterical. AJ, I don't know if you know him because you guys' jaws are similar, and if that's just kind of a group chat that you have and everything. He's like a little bit more sophisticated version of you, is kind of what we figured out.
Spot on.
And he took that as a massive compliment, obviously.
Nice.
He was very excited to be in the same conversation as you when it came to jaws in football. But this dude is absolute legend, and I think they would call him a beauty out there, an absolute beauty, AJ.
He's the man. Look at him. He looks like a superhero creation, like not even a real person, especially when you see him. And he's getting more jacked and more handsome, I guess, as he ages. So Paul's been awesome. Known him since way back in college, and don't get to run into him very often. But I'm glad you got to spend some time with him because he is a beauty, as they say.
He turned the corner in that suit, and I was like, holy shit. Paul Posluszny, what's up, dude? And he goes, hey, what's up, man? And he mentioned a friend of ours' wedding that we were both at that I had to speak at. And that was immediate. I'm like, I haven't really seen you since then. I'm like, what are you up to? Told me his job. He's in something super important.
Sure.
He's doing something super duper important. And drinking beers with how jacked he is. You would think he's not drinking beers. He's hammering beers.
Eating fries, too.
Guy's
He
just
was eating a
built
bunch of
different.
fries and potatoes and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, he might chew on the cans after that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would make sense.
That might be.
The only difference between him and AJ is I did ask him, hey, like, you have one of the greatest jawlines of all time. AJ has one of the greatest jawlines of all time. Do you know about the Jawser because that's how AJ got his, and he had no idea what the Jawser was.
Yeah, he said, I don't know what you mean, the jaws are size. Here's a photo of him from his NFL days.
Jesus Christ.
Come on.
That's not real.
Not AI.
That's not real.
That is Paul Posluszny football right there. Okay, out of Penn State. Drafted to the Bills, becomes a legend, obviously, with the Jaguars. Was a part of a Bills pick and a Jaguars pick the night we were there. And I'll tell you, he said multiple times, I don't have like the pizzazz. So I'm just going to read what they put on the card. And I'm like, you do have the pizzazz, Paul. He goes, no, I don't.
Exactly
They give me
what
the
AJ
card.
would do.
I'm going to read it. Exactly. You and him are like,
I'm just not doing it. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
not
exactly.
Gonna do it.
He was not happy about it. So he saw me do, you know.
Yeah.
He saw me say,
Trying to
hey,
talk him into doing that.
hey, listen, it's an easy thing, Paul. Especially with the superhero that you are. You got to take all your negative thoughts, put them into your palm. Go ahead and crush it way down there, Paul, and say, yeah, they're gone. And maybe you go up there and do it. So he had a pick shortly after my pick, and I was like, Paul, you need to go do a magic trick up there. So I throw him the handkerchief as he's walking up there. He catches it, walks for 2 feet. We go, holy shit, he's going to make it. Turns around, crow hops, throws the thing as hard as he can back at me and says, I don't do magic tricks, and walked away. He's the best. Me, Gumpy, Foxy, Dion Branch, and Paul Posluszny spent 4 hours backstage at an open bar at the NFL draft on Friday. And
That's awesome.
It was a great time.
Yeah.
It was a great time. We saw Caden McDonald, got a chance to meet him. Saw Heidenreich, the QB from Navy, who would later go on to get picked in the 7th round by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Got a chance to see Calvin Johnson. Megatron was back there.
Jake Delhomme.
Jake Delhomme,
Yeah.
who's just a Louisiana. I mean,
I heard he swears a lot.
yeah, oh yeah.
Beast.
Incredible storyteller,
Love
I do
him.
believe, too. Jake Delhomme, yeah, love him.
Mark Ingram.
Mark Ingram was electric. Brian Westbrook.
Joey Porter.
Both Porters, senior and junior, were back there. Electric. Can I go back to Mark Ingram real quick? Well done by Mark Ingram.
Oh, yeah.
But also, his kid, awesome. And Brian Westbrook, his kid, phenomenal. These two are hanging out. Brian Westbrook's kid and Mark Ingram's kid were hanging out together, both about the same age. As soon as I walk in there, both of them walk right up to me. Why'd Randy Orton do that to you? Oh, I thought you had a broken neck. I'm like, who the fuck kids? Who are these kids? You know, Mark Ingram comes up, sorry, it's my boy or whatever. I'm like, don't be sorry, this kid's awesome. And then Westbrook's kid was one of the cool, like, it was a great vibe backstage. Like, it was an actual great vibe in the back. And I'm thankful and lucky that we were a part of it. I had a blast back there. And some people might have smoked back there.
Really?
Okay. And you got easy names, finally.
CJ Allen.
Yeah, love that.
Halsey, interesting. Haulsy. They spelled Hall-C at the bottom, handwritten there. Getting a chance to see the operation, fascinating, like who's doing what, how it's going. A lot of phones in the back, a lot of TVs, headsets. A lot of movement. I think they did well with the show.
Yeah, we have some good picks.
Good show.
Yeah. I think Colts made some good picks.
I like what the Colts
good picks.
They got some dogs.
I'm a big fan of the Colts.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't feel like there's many teams that are bummed out about what their team did, other than maybe like the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Two teams.
Jaguars are kind of getting a negative rap. Who else? Who else?
Niners.
49ers.
Oh, yeah, because Grant Cohn just went in there and just
You always reach. What's up with that?
kind of ass. And then Warren Sharp goes, let me compound that a little bit. Yeah, they're the worst of all time.
Look at this graph.
Kind of onto something. That's tough that you got to kind of face the music. A lot of interesting questions coming after these draft picks.
Yeah, a lot of the thing on Saturday was like the consensus big boards, like, oh, this guy went 50 picks before he was supposed to go. When the entire conversation the entire time was after you get after like the 3rd, 4th round, like anything could happen. Like if teams like their guys, they're going to take them whenever they feel like they should take them. So, I mean, the whole narrative of like just like online draft people criticizing, actual GMs and scouts who that's their actual job every single day of their life is kind of a wild thing.
They build your team.
Yes,
Just the matter of factness, I think. Of
Yes,
it. Like,
yes.
there is no, people are pulling the John Lynch talking about AI. Like, if you're not using AI right now, then you're already behind. And then they pull up the graphs, the drafted, over expected, or whatever the thing is. It's like, all that is just fodder. Like, no one knows better than what these guys who dedicate their lives to it. And how many times has there been like a F draft and then that guy? I mean, people always reference it as of recent, but the Lions going Gibbs and Jack Campbell. Yeah. That was like ridiculous in the first round a couple years ago. And now here we are 3 years later, and that was one of the better first rounds in recent memory because of those guys.
Who was the Seattle Seahawks? Bruce Irvin was a part of the draft class. I saw somebody tweet about it that was like, I always love listening to draft experts tell me how good my team did the day after the draft because I remember that the Seattle Seahawks drafted
Bobby Wagner, Earl Thomas, Wright,
Aaron Curry, maybe?
Curry might have, Cam Chancellor, I thought was in there, Sherm.
Yeah, I don't know. But there was a draft class with Bruce Irvin in it. And the only reason why I saw it is because I think Bruce Irvin stuff comes into my algo because he's a West Virginia guy, and I'm a huge fan, obviously. I love what he has done. His story is a fantastic one. But I think the Bruce Irvin draft class, there's like the Seattle Seahawks pillars, basically. And the day after, it was like, F,
yeah.
why would you ever do that? And it's like, well, they would actually go on to have massive success. It's interesting, man.
Yeah,
Here it is. Never forget which Bleacher Report gave the Seahawks an F grade for their 2012 draft. Bruce Irvin, Bobby Wagner, Russell Wilson, Turbin, obviously legend, Lane, and Sweezy. It's like, these guys stink, dude. Fucking what are we doing?
Exactly.
It's like you have no idea. We have no idea.
John Schneider, too, looking back on that.
Yeah, that guy never misses.
Yeah.
He's the best.
I think we just assume that. Now, there is a Hembo stat about something that says the Colts did good. So
there you go.
Put it up
All
there.
right.
Read it, AJ.
Doesn't matter.
Most/least value using consensus big board. What exactly does that mean?
Shout out Jack Lick.
It means we did the shits, bud. We did it.
Dolphins 28?
Yeah, that's because you guys can't
Shut
do
up,
this
Himbo.
shit. Yeah. How about the 49ers? Dead ass last. Jags, they're an AFC South rival.
Who's consensus big board, though?
Exactly.
Who has the consensus big board?
Jack Lick, 10, bitch.
It's not just Jack Lick. Jack Lick's going on.
No, so that
everybody.
guy took literally every internet scout or whatever and took all their big boards and filed him into a consensus with all of the players, and that's what it's based on.
And Chris Ballard likes his guys for good
He
reason.
loves his guys.
And it sounds like the consensus big board also likes his guys. And I would like to add, I like his guys too. Bryce Betcher. You know who that is?
Yeah.
He was drafted to play baseball. He's actually a good baseball player.
Yeah,
Wanted
still
that
go
guy.
play baseball.
Yeah, like actually good baseball player. And then instead of, you would think baseball, not physical, not tough, let me go play linebacker. And let me be all over the field. He can certainly put on some weight, or maybe he doesn't have to because he's a thumper. We got studs all over the place. Dogs is who the Colts were hunting. I like what we did in the building. Don't love that we're losing Kenny Moe still.
Yep.
Don't like that we're losing Kenny Moe. Don't like that we lost Michael Pittman Jr. Don't love that we lost Zaire Franklin either. He made a lot of tackles for our team on that particular. Obviously, we had a hole there, had to go after it. D, but you like what the Colts did as well.
I love what the Colts did. Got some dogs kind of in the middle of their defense, and I think Chris Ballard was talking about, because he got asked why so SEC heavy, and Chris Ballard was like, look, that's the closest thing to the NFL, so getting guys that produce at a high level.
And he'd be wrong if
At
that's
the most,
really what he said. But
NFL-rich, talent-rich conference in college, I think they will do well. But, look, we won't know until they actually get on the field, NFL field and make plays. But going to another one of my teams, the Miami Dolphins, I absolutely love what they did.
28.
Fuck that list, all right? Who was the guy's name? Like,
Jack Lick.
Yeah, fuck him too. I think the Dolphins, Ben Lynn, Troy Aikman, Sully, Halfley, everybody that had anything to do with this list. Look, I know Saban said some things about Proctor, and there's some things that he believes. So that's the biggest, I think, wild card at the top of the draft in the first round. But after I saw his tattoo on his knuckles, his tattoo's been 1972. Obviously, the only undefeated NFL season, Super Bowl champs. I'm all in on that guy. It was written. Chris Johnson, the second corner, going in the first round. He's on there. Chris Bell, you talked about Deion Branch. That was his wide receiver out of Louisville. I think he'll be a dog. And then the second coming is Zach Thomas on that defense, in the middle of that defense with Rodriguez out of Texas Tech. Yeah, boom. This is the tattoo I'm talking about. I mean, come on, man.
Don't forget about Kyle Lewis.
Come on.
dog out of Pitt.
Mm-hmm. So dogs all up and down the draft board. Love what the Miami Dolphins did in the draft.
I think Caden Proctor can certainly become something special, especially if he's motivated by everybody saying he
Yeah.
won't be able to in the NFL. Con man, what team really surprised you in the draft?
I actually went with the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC North. Yeah, kind of Jesse Minter's first draft, and they went right off the bat with the best guard in the draft. There wasn't really a debate on who it was. It was, and I don't want to get this wrong, Vega Ioane, I believe.
Nailed it.
Is how you say his name. He was consensus unanimous. Hey, this guy is a stud right off the bat. He's a big son of a bitch. Protect Lamar Jackson with everything you have. And then, kind of going on the other side of the ball, they just went trenches on the defensive side. Zion Young, who actually was kind of projected to go at the end of the first round to New England, but 6'6", 260 captain from Missouri edge. You kind of pair him up with Trey Hendrickson, get that other guy. You can kind of pass that knowledge on to Zion Young being that kind of future. And then the two receivers they took, Jacoby Lane and Elijah Surratt. Surratt being Indiana national champion, played in big games. But
Back shoulder guy.
Exactly. Both big guys for the outside. They've had the, Zay Flowers, great slot, the tight ends in the middle of the field for the past few years, but they finally get kind of outside of the numbers, the guys who stay on that autobahn, as you call it. And also, not to mention, they picked the best punter in the draft. You can't forget about the Michigan State boy as well.
Ryan Eckley, we saw him bomb balls at the combine. He was clearly the number one guy. Jordan Stout goes to the Giants. Eckley gets drafted. And then don't forget running back Adam Randall, drafted by Bisciotti.
Yeah.
First time they came out and said that Steve Bisciotti, owner of the Ravens, said, hey, can I pick a guy? Yeah, I want the running back. And they go, yeah, fuck. Sure. You own the team.
Okay.
Buddy. You own the team. I think that.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Eric DeCosta said that was the first time he's ever done that, so he must really like the guy. And yeah, you can fuck. We got 3 fifth-rounders. You can certainly pick one of them. Yeah, that's not the first time or the last time that an owner has done that. We've heard the story from Jim Irsay whenever Jonathan Taylor was in the draft that, the Colts trade up for him. And we're excited for that. We're excited for them to trade up and everything. And then we hear the story. Jim Irsay looked at Chris Ballard allegedly and said, hey, we really like Jonathan Taylor, right, brother? How long are we just going to sit here and let this kind of happen? And then Chris Ballard makes a trade. It almost felt like it was an okay, let's go do it. And they get Jonathan Taylor, and that's obviously a massive thing. So ownership on draft night, and I'm not saying that Jim Irsay told him to do this, but he basically nudged him to be like, hey, let's go. I love him too. Hey, we all kind of love this guy. That's all you need on draft night is an owner just to be like, actually, I want that quarterback right there at this time, right now. And the team is like, well, we've done months and months of scouting.
Exactly.
And fuck it. Yep. Let's send it in. That happens in the draft. That has happened and will continue to happen, especially by the teams that are, or the people that are footing the bill for it all, AJ.
Yeah, I wonder, over the course of the draft, how many teams have tried to keep their owner maybe occupied? Hey, make sure he's while we're making this pick, try to take a long time making his coffee, do whatever it takes to keep him out of the room until we make the pick, and then we can celebrate it. Because I'm sure there has been owners that are step in day of the draft or day before, like you said, when all these scouts have packets on every single player. They've been scouting forever, and the owner just says, no, I want this guy right here, take him.
I was watching an Instagram post.
Yep. My 13-year-old nephew showed me this. Did you see this guy ran up a brick building? Let's take him.
Who was that? I posted.
Was that real?
Was it real?
Yes, it was real. It was the Chiefs wide receiver.
Is that
Crawford.
actually who he is, though? Is that who that is in the video?
Yeah.
Are we 100% sure?
Well, I'm not 100% sure about anything these days.
No, I don't think so. I think it's obviously we've seen it a few times in the past.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if it was still Guy
Caldwell, I believe.
in the past from now.
Josh?
There is certainly there was a 6'7" guy drafted this weekend.
How about the guy from that's never played football before? He ran he's 310 pounds, ran a 4.63. Yeah, the Eagles took him, and that guy might be unbelievable.
People brought that up. Guy never played football before he gets drafted. Guy who's a finalist for the Heisman and created Vanderbilt as a football team doesn't get drafted. It is crazy how everything is just on the projection of what you could be in the NFL.
Business.
That is how the draft works. That legitimately is the business.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the business, man. UFL could fork over some money at Diego Pavia, right, for him to play a few weeks.
Maybe.
How many weeks we got left? He said he'll go bankrupt. Fuck.
That's true.
He said needs the horses to win.
Need one this weekend.
Okay, if we want to keep this UFL thing going, we're going to need one of these horses, either Zany or Renegade, to fucking run their best round. I'm 0 for 8 at the Derby. 3 scratches, 2 of them being favorites. Some would say I'm fucking bad luck. Not me, though. I say, what a fucking opportunity we have.
Exactly.
He has that Gary Vee shit.
He does.
He does.
I like it. I like it, though. I like his positivity, though. It'll wear off on people.
He sold me.
Yeah, he got me too.
Me
I
too.
laughed. I haven't laughed that hard for a league's owner.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe ever.
Bashotti probably.
Yeah.
And him just calling in draft picks. I love that he's getting a little bit more hands-on. What a time. NBA playoffs tonight. Let's go ahead and enjoy the hell out of that.
Come on now.
A couple game 4s.
Huge
couple
ones.
game 5s. Game 5.
Pistons better figure it out.
Must-win game for the Pistons.
Must-win game for the Pittsburgh Penguins against the Philadelphia Flyers back home. There's a lot of conversation about what uniforms the Penguins are wearing. Have you seen that, Nick? What's going on there?
Yeah, the gold was a nice touch during the season. You pull out a retro jersey, a kind of a throwback-inspired jersey, something cool to change things up. This is the playoffs. It's time to get serious. You don't want to be wearing that. Somehow the decision was made to wear that gold uniform in the first round of the playoffs. I thought it was only going to be a game or two. Turns out you have to tell the NHL what uniform you're wearing road and away, and you're locked into that. You cannot change during each round.
There's no way Gary Bettman in the league want them wearing that ash jersey this entire time.
They got to go back to the black ones.
Put the classic black back on, boys. We're back home. We need to win. We can't be losing to the goddamn Flyers. I'll tell you, though, watching that Flyers team, that's a group of bad mamma-jammas over there.
It's a good hockey team.
That is a good hockey team. Dancing with great hockey team. Now greatest, Sidney Crosby, seemingly woke up.
Yeah, he did.
How about Tanger getting a nice goal? That felt like old school Tanger there, him feeling free and actually letting one rip. Gino Machin was on the ice the entire game when we were there.
Oh, yeah.
71 was all over the place.
Didn't want to sub himself out.
Yeah, I love it. Now, there's a thought that maybe he was done in Pittsburgh, but I guess now there's a thought that maybe he'll come back again and we'll run it back with the boys if something was to happen. It's like, let's just win right now. Let's just win a Stanley Cup.
One game at a time.
Those are good tarps.
Yeah.
That's away.
Those are away. The home ones are the problem.
That's away.
They're piss orange.
They suck.
They're bad. We saw them. That's what they lost in. That's what 3-0. That's what they lost in.
Thought they were nice.
No, they're pissed.
That's because you haven't seen the others up.
Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah, I don't mind those.
They are nice.
Those are poo.
For a game or two.
Classics, man.
Those
This is the
suck.
playoffs.
They're alternates.
It's black and yellow, not yellow with black, yellow with black. It's black and yellow, okay? It's a good accent killer, yellow, okay, because it's loud. Especially but this is not what we need to be wearing, especially if we're going to be losing to the Flyers.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Anaheim Ducks, they can get away with it because they went through this like terrible phase, completely have a new team. That's why they got the bright orange with the throwback logo. Those ones. That's not what they wore when they won the cup. Now, the Penguins still have the same team. So why would you change their jerseys when that team won 2 cups in those black jerseys?
I don't like any of it. There's decisions being made above our heads that we don't
Probably
like.
Fenway Sports Group's fault. They probably did it before they sold the team or some shit.
Yeah, they don't have a say anymore. Mammoth, also a big one tonight after the Penguins.
Hey, Utah, not bad.
Yeah,
Utah about to take down the Golden Knights with Torts coming in there. Golden Knights are in trouble. These games are late, but Utah's doing it, Ty.
Yeah, and that's the biggest problem. These games are really fucking late, like really late. Tonight I'll be locked in because it's a 9:30 puck drop, which I absolutely love. 10:30 is kind of pushing it a little bit, but hey, that's kind of just the way it goes in hockey. Is you cannot take the expansion teams lightly. You just can't. These teams that pick up, move, start new somewhere, they're always good. They're always feisty. And now we'll see, because is the tide turn a little bit? It was sunshine and rainbows in Vegas. Torts is undefeated. He hasn't lost yet. I assume he has been just the biggest horse's ass for the last 4 days or so. So I don't know. Do the boys respond to that? Or do the guys, are they in the change room? Are they already like, you know what, fuck Torts. Let's kind of just pack it in. We'll be done. And then we'll end the season. I don't see that happening.
Ryan Smith really baby-facing over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
huge.
big time. I mean, every single thing he does is sweet, though. Like the Zamith is one of the coolest things to come to the NHL. And then not to mention, we got a couple unbelievable Tusk mugs. You got to be pretty careful when you're drinking out of those just because the bubbles that kind of perforate from the bottom when you go to chug. But, I mean, they're doing everything right. And when you own the Jazz, and they won't make the playoffs for at least 15 more years.
No.
You put all your focus into the Utah Mammoth. I mean, you might as well just ride the wave.
Yeah, the Utah Mammoth, also known as the Mammoth. Toss up. How you doing with the Zamoth Zamboni, which is obviously special. Ryan Smith also has 8 fans in his suite tonight. randomly.
Really?
Random fan sitting in his suite. And I think he has those ledge seats, too, that look over the ice.
Oh, on that corner.
Yeah, you're actually in it before they do
Like donate a bunch of money or win or like a lottery or what?
They pick them.
Just a giveaway. He does. I think he does it on his app.
He just said, "Tell me why you deserve to come watch the game with me."
Dangerous decision.
I'm hosting 8 Mammoth fans in my suite on Friday for our first home playoff game ever. Who should go and why? Then he followed it up. Vibes were nice last game, cuz. Let's keep this going with 8 more seats in the suite for tomorrow. Tell me who and why. You know, so there's probably people submitting other people potentially. Hey, you need to let at Zamoth Monster 4 in because they've been a fan since jump with their kid. Also, they named their kid Tusk.
That's kind of cool.
You
That's
know,
a good
they
name.
deserve a
But this
reason.
does remind me, we need to shrink the game. All those international fans making picks on Saturday, that was bullshit. Okay.
Nah, I appreciated the Canadian calling me
Jeez.
out. I respected that. You didn't like the German doing the stuff?
No, I didn't love her. I didn't love a lot of it. Okay, this is the draft. Okay,
shrink the game.
So I saw
shrink the game.
A lot of people say to me when I do a draft pick, they're like, just say it and get the hell out of the way. And it's like, well, what the fuck am I here for? You know, like what are we doing here? What are we doing here? I'm just walking.
Yeah, I know who you are though.
You think they picked me to fucking do this? So Bachelor Boys, by the way, the band had been killing it all weekend. At this point, remember me, Dion, Paul Posluszny, Kuhn a little bit in the back with his friend from Brookville. You know, we're having
a 10 cocktails deep.
We were.
We're having a good time. It's a show. What am I saying? We're just reading from the car. Get out of here. Like, they're trying to make it a show. There's 200,000 people out there just sitting there. Just go out there and read it. It is a It is an honor to be a part of it. Yeah.
Go.
Minds were
Where'd it
blown.
go? Holy smokes.
I don't want to say anything, but ESPN missed the magic trick. The ESPN broadcast missed the magic trick. They zoomed out while I was doing the thing. It's the whole part of it. And then they come back and I go, whew. And they go, look. Fans like, this fucking asshole is. It's like, you missed the trick. You missed the whole thing. But boom, you missed it. It's gone. I'm doing a fucking magic trick right now. Yeah, you kind of blend away.
Yeah.
Remember when I used to leap? Oh, first ever magic trick in a draft. I felt good about it. There's people who were pissed. I mean, it's just never ending. It's never ending. The IWC still bringing it.
Still.
They're still bringing it. I appreciate it. I'm just blocking people at a rapid rate right now. This guy's fucking everywhere. Get him out of my life. I check them. They're following me. It's like, brother, let me fix this.
Yeah. I'll help you out here.
Let me fix this entirety thing. The draft was fun, though. That was cool to be a part of.
It was.
I can't believe we get to do that. Fallout of draft, people talking, the new 8-minute thing fucked up a lot of shows. Us included.
Production?
It definitely changes it.
I don't think so. The trades were announced on the internet. That's first time ever. Normally, Goodell come up and say this pick has been traded to this. So there's a little bit of a heads up. And also for all the other shows, I assume, whenever a team is on the clock now, we have all the shit for when they're on the clock. Okay, this team's on the clock. Here's the moves that they've made. Here's the losses. Here's the season. Here's the highlights. Here's the lowlights. Let's go to this person for expert advice on this. Let's talk about this. Bang, pick is in. Sweet. Who do we think it is? Great. Let's go to the pick. Sweet. Let's do follow-up, interview a person on stage, which could create an incredible moment. Let's get away from that. Let's break down some film. Okay, who's on the clock next? Like there's probably, we don't know those other shows, but from watching it over the years, I would assume that there is a formula that has been used for a long time. So whenever that was 10 minutes in between and the trades were getting announced, I think you could hit all of them. Boom, 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 boom. And the only reason why I assume that was happening to others is because it was happening to us. Whenever the picks were just being announced on the internet, we had to learn that quickly. We had to learn like, okay, this shit's not being announced so we can get to the next person. But like every time I wanted to go to the Bunker Boys for a breakdown of what could potentially be coming, like Tone, what happened to this team? What could they be thinking? Shregs, how many conversations? It was like, well, actually the pick is in. Now we got Coach Cowher here. So you got to look at Coach Cowher like, hey, you got something good on this? And then, okay, we're going to send it somewhere else. And then somebody would talk and then he would, I have some. It's like, okay, don't talk into the microphone.
Yeah.
You are still alive in this entire thing. But by the time that happened, the next pick was already in. So it was like everybody, I think, had a lot of plans for what it was going to be. And then that back half where there's normally a lot of fill, a lot of shenanigans normally would be where we would kind of come in. That shit was bang, 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 bang with trade pick. So I think it was a little bit different this year for everybody, and I think some people were trying to catch up, us included in it all. But dodge, duck, dive, ducking, dodging your way through the draft is a fun time. I had a blast over there, AJ.
Oh, it was awesome. And I think obviously we all know 8 minutes is better no matter what. All the shows will adjust as it moves on and they do this. But yeah, keeping it like concise. It's still was 2 hours and 50 or 240 something compared
253, I think.
Yeah, compared to over 3 the last 5-10 years. Like they've been crazy long at times. So yeah, they're trending in the right direction. No question when it comes to the timing.
Everybody was seemingly happy about their picks.
Yeah.
You're right.
Isn't this the most felt most positive?
For sure.
I might be wrong. I'm sure there will be somebody who says that I have no idea what I'm talking about because there's probably a couple teams that aren't happy, but it felt like the most amount of okay.
Yeah. And from the teams that are usually the most negative. Like you talked about the Jets fans, they're happy. Browns fans, like the teams that you would expect to be like, of course, we did it again, we screwed up, are the exact opposite. And then even the 49ers fans. I don't think there are many 49ers fans as pissed as the internet kind of portrays in a sense. Sure.
I'm happy that we get to do this for a living. We'll be back tomorrow, won't we?
Hell yeah, we will.
God willing.
God willing.
God willing.
God wills it.
And that goes back to the conversation.
Bingo. You're right.
I'd like you all to die after me. Let's keep that going.
Okay.
We're on pace for that. Let's never forget.
Off season starts today, so off season workout program starts today.
Here we go.
What are you doing?
Get healthy.
How though?
Daily workout, sauna, eating better.
You're going to be doing all that?
Yep.
Morning or afternoon? I'll meet you there.
Science morning.
Okay.
Well, don't run.
Afternoon.
No, I'm definitely not running.
Don't run. You can actually just fucking tear your entire ankle up.
Just
running?
Just running. Apparently.
That's not real.
Yeah, you can be 1.5 miles into a run. Gliding with your big ass motor. Just getting after it. Bang, 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 bang. And then all of a sudden you can just take one step, feel a pop, and then bang, completely broken ankle.
No. What kind of shoes?
Some of those big super duper runner ones.
Yeah.
Not the Adidas Ada Zero, Adios, Zero
Definitely not
threes.
Those
The
are breaking records.
Sebastians.
Those are coming out today, I think.
2 minutes,
those
sold
are
out.
available today. Yeah, those things are gone. He wasn't wearing these, but Bailey McCombs shredded his ankle.
Yep.
I saw him hopping around it.
He needs to
Was
stop.
he running on the side of the road and this happened?
Yes.
Yeah, he was just running. He said just casually running.
Did he crawl home? How did he get out of there?
Well, he probably hopped on his one foot, which is what he's doing now. He's got he doesn't have a full cast on. They got that thing fully wrapped, ready for, I assume, surgery or something coming up. I don't know what's next. But he's just hopping and jumping up and down with this. I'm like, hey, bub, like that thing's supposed to be pretty. You're not supposed to be just bouncing it. Blah, 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 blah.
So it's ankle or foot?
I think it's ankle.
Ankle.
You gotta get him. You gotta get Dr. Chow. Take a look at it.
Yeah,
It's not a bad idea.
especially through a Zoom.
We also got. I'm gonna take Bailey to church. I go to church to get a good prayer over Bill.
Do you think
Not
so?
a bad idea either.
Yeah. Shit, got fires, cars just fucking flying out of the sky.
You're right.
Well, karma was.
You're right.
I'll pray for my guy. Love you, Bill.
Love you, Bill.
Love you, Bill.
Luck, Bill.
He was acting like a real asshole, though, with that broken ankle this morning. You know? And
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like
Just
how?
jumping around, running around, like just completely out of pocket. Like, hey.
No, Foxy laughing.
Oh, yeah, Foxy was so happy.
You should hear Gumpy's cackle in there.
Yeah, Gumpy's got a full, you know.
Fox is being him too. An asshole.
He's not being mean to him. He's just telling him, like, sorry, Bill, that happened. Obviously, this happens to you.
I was laughing my ass off. Bill opened the front door that much before he could be all chipper and scream, "Hey, Foxy," as he's crutching in this morning. I mean, I had to laugh in his face.
Yeah. I mean, that's Bill football there. He's shown up here before completely black and blue, his whole body.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea. I mean, he's been through it. You're right. I think prayer is really,
Yeah. Love you, Bill.
because we should bring somebody in here to pray over him. We'll do that maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
Is he still going to be able to get down to his cellar to feed his victims? Or
Here's the x-ray of his ankle. I guess it's pretty well cracked in there. Yep, big circle. I assume the doctor immediately after pointing this out to him said, so what we need to do is not be too, risk. Let's keep this thing compact and tight together. Let's not move it much. And Bill said, you got it, Doc. Fucking hopped out of there on one foot.
That's a hairline fracture. He's fine. Take that boot off.
He doesn't even have a boot on. That's
it's a
kind of part of the
calf,
problem.
isn't it?
Yeah, he needs a boot. I think when we get
Needs
to the
a
boot
calf.
stage, we'll be good. We got summer ahead in Bill's.
Yeah, not a good time to break your ankle.
Just running. Speaking of running, did you see this fucking guy? So fast.
Sebastian Salway.
Oh, yeah.
Salway
Oh,
is his
geez.
name. An hour, 59 minutes, 26 miles. What? How's that work?
Crazy.
4:33 average.
For 26.26 miles or whatever the case is, hour 59, fastest of all time, happened this past weekend. He was wearing the brand new Audi Zero Adios 3 shoes. And the reason why we bring that up is because he wasn't the only one that was record-breaking this weekend in running while wearing these particular shoes, which might be the next gimmick. Somebody else broke some record as well while wearing the Audi Zero Adioses. I think it was the woman.
I think it was the woman, yes. And then I believe also the second place finisher in that marathon also broke 2 hours. And I'm not sure if they had the same shoes on, but it was a couple world records there.
Yeah, so I guess the Audi Zero, this one is the one here. This is like it's sub 100 something grams maybe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like, it's a super.
Those are like, they're similar to Nike came out with a pair that people thought were like illegal, didn't they? Same thing.
So the article I read is that Nike spent a bunch of money trying to get somebody under 2.
Yeah, breaking 2 was like a huge thing that they were doing.
And it turns out like Adidas actually was the one that ended up doing it. And it's with a super shoe that's super light, I guess. And hopefully if you just run it, you don't just break your ankle like Bill McComas while he was running out there.
500.
Yeah, and Asafa set their respective marathon records on Adidas' new shoe, the Audi Zero Adios Pro Evo 3. I missed a couple words there. I apologize. The shoe is Adidas' first ever sub 100 grand super shoe and is set to release today for $500. Sold out in 2 minutes, I guess.
Jeez.
So there's runners around the country right now that are putting these on, and they're going to hold up traffic, but just know that they're floating and moving better than ever before. Shout out to that. And shout out to Subway doing it and Asafa. I believe would be the name. You ever run a marathon?
Fuck no. Hell, I hate running.
Me too.
I'm a sprinter.
This guy sprinted a marathon.
Yeah, 4:33. That's insane.
Insanity.
Like just 1 mile.
So then you go back through the history books. I guess something happened in, there was Hembo sent over some stats. Yeah. Sub 2 hours and 10 minute marathon, 1967, Derek Clayton. They were doing it.
Okay.
Sub 2 hours and 5 minute marathon, Paul Turgot.
Remember that one.
Sub 2:02, 2018, Eliud Kipchoge.
Yeah.
And then sub 2 hours, first time ever, Sebastian Salway. So, I mean, people have been running ridiculous times for a long time. Isn't it crazy that 11 minutes or 10 minutes is the difference between 1967 and 2026 with all the advancement in technology and the super shoes and everything like that?
Yeah, that's what's crazy. Just like if you look at from 26 to 2003, like it's a 5 minute difference. It took, I mean, how many years is that? 36 from 67 to 2003 just to make a 5 minute difference. Like that is literally just the evolution of the shoe.
It's crazy. Evolution of the shoe, evolution of training. And you would think there'd be a much different, like a much better result now than there was then. Yeah. But then I go back to watching like track in the 100 meter whenever the Olympics was around. And they talk about like they had black and white film on what the fastest was running then. And then what the fastest is running now. It's like half a second or something. We've gotten better, which is crazy to think about. Because there's no way if you drop me back in time that I saw one of those fucking bums that I would definitely think I'm faster than. No questions asked. This guy doesn't even have good fucking shoes on. You not even know how to stretch your hamstrings, buddy? No, this guy has no idea. And then they're running a fucking 10 whatever. It's like, wow. Humans have always been able to move, it seems like. Modern advances in technology certainly help, but nowhere near as much as I think I expected.
No, it's insane. But I mean, obviously everybody's getting, bigger, faster, stronger. I'm seeing high school kids, you go to a high school state meeting, it's like 10 flat, 10-1, 10-2. It's like fourth place is like 10-3. And that was like, even when we were coming up high school, you ran a 10.3, like you were fucking moving. Walter Dix, I ran against him. He ended up winning a silver medal that same year. Bolt blew that shit out. But I mean, the evolution is crazy. These numbers are crazy. But sprinters, I mean, I think it'll be a while before we see someone break Usain's record.
Actually,
those were insane.
that kid, we got a guy.
I seen Gout.
Australian. Yeah, he set the record for I think under 20 in the 100 meter new world record. He is like the next one.
Wasn't Bolt like running slow so he could break his own record?
Yeah, he probably could have.
Like 20 meters left. Let me go ahead and stop running. So then the next time I'll run with 10 meters left. I was good to go. He broke his own record like 4 times. It's good business.
Insane.
Genius.
He was awesome. Bolt was incredible. I mean, we were all pulling for him.
Oh yeah.
Come on, Jamaica, beat the shit out of the Americans.
It's like the peak of the Olympics. I felt like.
USA Hockey?
Yeah, well, growing up, sorry, and that was summer.
Okay.
Like
Phelps going crazy.
Phelps
Usain
and
Bolt
yeah,
going crazy.
yeah.
They carried it.
Oh yeah.
Bolt
Big
and
time.
Phelps. How many Olympics were they together?
Did Phelps have what, 2 more? One on the front, one on the back?
Swimmers go forever.
Yeah, they go a long time.
Good breaststroke.
Thank you.
Yeah, Gauk did 10:04 at 16 years old.
Usain Bolt and Michael Phelps appeared together in 3 Olympic Games. Yeah, I mean, they fucking carried 12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4,
One of those
8,
was the
12.
Redeem Team, too.
Oh. I'll tell you what, the Olympics are not bad. Is the World Cup going to be great? When's it start?
It's always great.
June 3rd?
Yeah, first week of June.
Oh, Gumpy's looking up the stats.
It always delivers.
It does.
I thought for sure we'd hear a Canadian voice there answer that question.
I don't know if the U.S. is going to deliver.
Hey, Gumpy, just quick question. How can we sign the 35-year-old guy that's in La Liga 2 that punches people in the face?
Andrada?
How do we get him on Team USA? Where's he from? Argentina?
He's an Argentinian goalkeeper, 35 years old. I don't think he's going to be playing for anybody for quite some time. He might be getting kicked off this squad.
La Liga 2 here, which is the second league in Spain. 35-year-old goalie from Argentina gets a red card and says, you know what, if that's the case, bang! Let me really earn one here. And then here's another guy. You can eat some too. The other goalie comes in. Bench is clear. Obviously, people from the crowd also going to end up getting in there. And soccer is awesome all of a sudden with a red card leading to a full-out brawl. AJ, 35-year-old Andrada.
Esteban Andrada.
Andrada said, listen, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to earn it at least. And Crow hops a couple people in the face. How do you feel about it, AJ? This is soccer.
I mean, I feel really good about it because if you watch this flop right here, either he's the strongest human alive, oh, boom, dead right away. So, yeah, credit to him for chasing him down and landing a clean shot. But then also all the guys that grabbed him, we never saw anybody throw any punches. They just kind of held on. They didn't really care to retaliate too much. Boom. Can you imagine that like in a football field?
What did he say? That's the question.
I don't know. And was that his second yellow, then a red? Is that what I saw? Did the goalie already punch somebody, or did he get an automatic red? Can we go back to the beginning here? Okay, so there's the ref telling you, relax. Get out of my face. Good sell out of the guy. Ref comes sprinting out lane. You can't do that. You can't do that. Get back.
What's he giving him?
I think he goes yellow card and then red card. So that was 2 yellows. So he already has 1 yellow. Is that what we're learning here? So that would be, that punch right there would technically be, he had 2 yellows that led to a red and then a definite red at the end. That guy collected 3-4 cards.
I like this
in
guy.
one game.
Beast.
I like this guy a lot.
How do we get him?
Get him on Punch's staff at least.
Yeah, can we get a little? We need it.
Yeah.
A little bit of fight from the lads.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Actually.
Director of fighting.
TST. That's his future.
35 years old. Just punched a guy in the face. He is a direct pipeline to carry North Carolina for that TST.
Yeah, he is.
Gumpy, how's Team America doing? I know we were asked there for a bit. Have we found our squad?
Yeah, Ponch is going to figure it out. He'll have the boys ready for the tourney.
Okay. So what do we learn today? Ponch will figure it out. We think George Pickens is signing the franchise tag, even though it was reported by everybody that he had signed the franchise tag.
Mm-hmm.
Repole will go bankrupt trying to make the UFL work.
Oh, Pens are going to win tonight.
He's willing to go bankrupt.
He's right.
He's not going.
The way I put the emphasis on that was definitely wrong. But point remains, he's all in.
Yeah, he is all in. Pens play tonight, need a win. Kentucky Derby this weekend. Renegade and Zany kind of like holding up the UFL amongst some other businesses that he also runs.
LeBron's the GOAT.
LeBron James, greatest of all time.
Nebulous. Learn the word.
Nebulous.
Kind of hazy there.
Yes.
What's going on?
It wasn't really a drive-by by Shams. It was more like a stop and park for a while.
Can you run that video again? Because there's multiple parts of the lyrics of the song that he kind of blew right through. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. It's a Shams drive-by. Just need a hot five.
It was like 20.
What's going on in hoops? We don't need a deep dive.
Did like 5 of those.
You got one.
Yep. Just need a hot five.
20.
Still has that fork.
We don't need a deep dive.
Dove into everything there.
Yeah.
And that's the Shams kind of cruise, I guess.
Yeah.
He had all the information. He just wanted to get it out.
This is a good graphic.
That is a good graphic.
This is
Fast
a good
questions,
graphic.
real answers.
All NBA, no filter. The Shams drive-by with Shams Charania.
Who made that one?
Me.
He did. That was
And GPT.
Yeah.
I'm getting real comfortable on that thing. I wonder if people are starting to feel a little heat in the seat around here with how much me and old GPT are becoming one with each other. I got a couple movies sitting in there, put them completed scene by scene.
Sure.
Pictures. I mean, we got a book in there.
Mm-hmm.
Graphics can certainly do that.
Layup.
You get lost in there.
This is fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
Let
good.
alone the music. People get mad about it that are super musical. It's like, okay, we got a song that we won't get sued about that is very relevant to the topic in 47 seconds.
Yeah. Bingo.
Catch up.
This is what everybody's going to be doing. This is what the world is going to become. Always will need a human. Always will need a human to wrangle. You know, Repole talks about having the greatest jockey. Gonna need humans to kind of jockey the AI forever. But if you get comfortable with it, man, it's crazy how much it can really, it's gonna be tough to keep my daughter and baby boy on the way away from it, you know? Because it's like, hey, this is available. It has all the fucking answers.
Mm-hmm.
I should maybe teach you how to be great at this. Or you should not learn this until you are of age. And you need to learn what actual life is. That's a dilemma.
It's quite the dilemma.
We'll kind of go through it together. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. We're in this thing together. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for allowing us to do this for a living. We'll be back tomorrow reacting to the NBA, the NHL, the NFL dreams and news. And also, is MLB happening or what?
Oh, yeah. Actually, big news. Red Sox just fired their manager, which is kind of crazy. He was, signed through for several more years. 3 of the 6 highest payrolls in baseball currently have 3 of the worst records in baseball. That would be the Mets, the Phillies, and the Red Sox.
So you can't just buy a title over it? I thought you could do that. That's what they were telling me about the Dodgers.
Dodgers are very good. So, some teams it works out, some teams it doesn't. That's kind of the way the cookie crumbles.
Oh, so they're not going to be able to get a deal done on why somebody should not be allowed to spend money because the teams that are spending money are also ass, even though the team that's spending the most money just so happens to be the absolute best.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? Hey, you can spend all that money if your team still fucking sucks or if you don't pay the right players or put the right collection of people together. You're going to be hammer dog shit, and that's like the Mets and the Phillies and the, Red Sox.
So maybe the Dodgers have a little talent, too.
They definitely have that.
They have a lot of talent.
It's calling it top 6. They also have more money. They spend more of the money by like what?
Yeah,
$200
they've spent a lot more money than everyone else.
So saying top 6 is one thing. Let's list them out.
Don't they work the books too a little different?
They work the books, sure.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. We're in this thing together. We can't thank you all enough for allowing us to do this for a living. We'll see you tomorrow. Team on me, team on 3. 1, 2, 3, team. Goodbye.